This episode of Limit Break Radio is brought to you by our gracious Patreon donors, including Celsi Nerokin of Behemoth, Jojo Stardust of Lamia, and Maju Lasser of Sargentanis. Thank you so much for your support.
Live from Eorzea.
Limit Break with your hosts, Nero.
Now behold the horror you have wrought.
Kahlo.
I said don't take your clothes off.
Juxtaposition.
I don't get it.
Ascalia.
Holy shit, totally forgot about him.
And Mika.
Oh my god.
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, episode number 13.55. I know, it's getting a little bit complicated. I am, of course, Aniro Grigori. Joining me today, we've got Nika Kayanian. How you doing?
Good. What's up?
We've also got Kahlo Landis.
Hey, what's up, stream?
Juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition! It's fine.
I don't know what
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not drunk.
And Ascalia Ryumasa. How you doing?
How's it going, man? I'm good.
We are very good. And happy that everyone could join us today here on twitch.tv.
You know, my favorite part now of every episode is watching how psyched up people in the chat get
You
during
said
the
that
intro.
literally every
Because
episode.
it's so awesome. I love it. Just every single time they just go wild.
Oh my god, it's on!
Yeah, I just want to remind you guys, like, how lukewarm you were on it when I first played it for you. You were like, really? Like, with all the screaming? Isn't it a little...
No, we've always done
we
that.
loved it.
And plus, I'm not saying that I like the intro. I like how they like the intro.
I like it.
Okay, so to start things off, let's go ahead and say what everyone likes about doing the shows. Kyle, go ahead and start. What's your favorite thing about doing the shows?
What?
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 What's your favorite thing about doing the shows? Because we haven't heard it before yet.
Is it the intro? I wonder if it's the intro.
I bet it's the intro.
I
and
think it's the intro.
And how everyone gets so psyched up. Is that true, Kahlo? Kahlo Landers?
True or false?
False.
He denies.
False.
He denies.
I don't know about that.
All right, so we are streaming live from Eorzea. Let's bring up the brand new layout for the show. This is fun. We've worked a lot on the layout in the last couple of weeks.
Ooh, wee.
And this is brand new, and really hope that you guys like it, and hope that the chat is easier to read when you watch it back on YouTube and stuff. And also we've got this. If you were curious what's coming up on today's show, we've got a little show tracker here up on the right side, so you know what's coming up on the show. So we're definitely excited to show all this off, and of course, if we get new follows and new PayPal donations and new subs, because this is our first episode as a partnered channel with Twitch. We've been streaming a lot over the last couple of weeks since we've gotten the sub button, but this is our very first official episode as a partnered stream of twitch.tv. So I want to talk about a little bit of what you get in return for subbing to us here on Twitch. Obviously, there are a couple of icons. Happy Chilla, aka Chinchilla, showing them off in the chat room right now. The Yo Sheep and the Get Good stamp. Those are both care of Mr. Kahlo Landis. Thank you.
Sort of. I made the Get Good. I technically made the Yo Sheep.
Yes, you did.
You turned it into a stamp.
I did. Well, all I did was give it shitty color. That's all I did.
Credit where credit is due,
It was MS Paint. It's nothing.
Credit where credit is due, bruh.
It looks pretty okay. But here's the thing, though, is that we need more. Like, the audience
ideas.
demands more emotes.
We obviously have lots of ideas. We want to do each of our faces, okay? And we need a Kyle and a 2 jobs. But the problem is the pixels are so small, we're not sure what to do for them just yet.
It is really hard to get them to
yeah.
look really good. I mean, the Yo-Sheep looks really good. The Get Good can be kind of hard to read in certain circumstances. It looks really good, like on the Twitch chat itself.
Right.
But it seems like, when we embed it on the stream, it can kind of be a little bit hard to read. So
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of background you have going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So normally when we're streaming and we get a new follow or we get a new sub or we get a new donation, we'll bring everything to a grinding halt to say thank you for your sub or your donation. But in the interest of having a good show and maintaining the flow of the show, we're not going to do that. So
we don't want to ruin your immersion.
That's right. So the thing is that we've muted all of the alerts. Normally, there's a little thing that'll go off when somebody donates to PayPal. But
the magic voice.
Yeah, the magic voice. We've muted that for the shows, and we've got the visual alert, so you'll be able to still see your name on screen and know that we thank you from the bottom of our heart. Like, for example, I know that Fi, you just subbed, but moving forward, we're not going to bring the show to a grinding halt to be able to thank you. We want we want to make sure that the flow is there. So.
But no, every time you do sub or do a donation, we get hard.
And it still pops up on the screen even if there's no
Great. Is that why it's so warm in here?
It did. I had to take my my hoodie off. It's getting a little heated in here.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Can I do it naked?
Let's do it live and naked.
Ew.
We had people trying to get me naked in the stream last night.
Well, 16 shots in, I'm surprised you didn't.
Yeah, really.
I still have dignity. Little bit of it, as
Significantly
Samus
less
says.
now, though, right?
As Samus says, you get enough gil, you can buy your dignity back.
You also get the bragging rights of being able to say that you joined the LB Army, and you get the nice, cool LBR badge next to your name when you're hanging out in our chat. So, all of those, the emotes you can use anywhere on Twitch. So, if you see somebody fuck up and you want to tell them to get good, use that get
Joe
good.
never fails.
Use that get good stamp.
Samus Rage Motor.
And for live letters, I can see the Yo-Sheep stamp, being a cool thing for that. So we look forward to having more of you guys sub up in the future. Currently, as of right now, there are 44 of you who have joined the LB Army. So we want to say thank you to all of you, and of course to everyone who's followed all 1,524 of you.
We made it to 1,500 before the show.
That's right. You did make that. You did make that prediction. Good job. Nice job. There's I don't know that we can move forward with the show until we address this at least a little bit. There's been a little bit of drama going around in the last couple of weeks.
What?
Yeah, right?
Drama surrounding LBR?
No.
So don't be so darn butthurt.
That's right.
Stop being butthurt.
So, we're gonna take a minute and talk about that a little bit later on. We're gonna talk about that towards the end of the show because you don't lead with the juiciest stuff, man. You don't lead with.
You gotta diddle the butthole a little bit first.
That's right. You gotta tease it out a little bit. Tease it out. So, I do want to remind you guys that we do have a couple of contests going on. We've got our art contest to win the signed FF14 art book autographed by, of course, Yo-Sheep, and I'd like to see the chat light up with Yo-Sheeps, please. All of our I see tons of badges out there, but I'd love to see some Yo-Sheeps light up when I
Make it rain.
That's right. Make it rain, Yo-Sheep. So we want your fan art of Limit Break Radio, and art doesn't just necessarily count as drawn art. It can be a video, it could be a song, it could be fan fiction, it could be any number of things, and we want you to kind of theme it after an existing TV show. So think like Archer or It's Always Sunny or Workaholics or The League. I mean, this is all like these are where I loved seeing all the Yo-Sheeps. That's fun. That's where like a lot of our drops come from. That's where a lot of our humor comes from. So just throwing out a couple of suggestions there.
Again, does not have to be drawn art.
Yes, does not have to be drawn art.
It It could be lyrics parodying a song.
That's
like
right.
The Fresh Prince of Limit Break Radio.
That's right. It could be a title, like if you wanted to do,
or just even a logo.
Yeah, a logo. That's exactly. So the grand prize, of course, is the Yoshi P autographed Final Fantasy XIV art book. First runner-up will receive a 60-day time card to Final Fantasy XIV, and the second runner-up will receive a Limit Break Radio limited Yoshi t-shirt because it is not available in our loot vault anymore. And if you'd like to see what shirts are available, that's at cafepress.com/limitbreakradio. We've also got our glamour contest. Kahlo, take that away.
So the glamoury cosplay contest is gonna win you possibly some really cool stuff. What is the prizes we have? I know the first...
it's just the t-shirt.
Oh, just the t-shirt. All right,
it's the Gaius Van Belsar
t-shirt. We have a
t-shirt.
Gaius Van Belsar t-shirt that
Good
was
job.
donated to us by... Was that Ryuichi?
No, that was Ryoko.
Right, Ryoku. I get them too confused all the time.
You're
anyway.
terrible.
God damn.
So Ryoku, he
good.
donated a Gaius Van Belsar t-shirt. I believe it's a large.
Yeah, extra large.
No,
I think.
Extra large
Extra
t-shirt.
large,
Yep.
yeah.
But basically what you're going to do for that is you're going to scour the game for the perfect pieces of glamour to make yourself look like your favorite anime character, video game character, comic character, movie character, whatever have you, and then you're going to email it in a screenshot for us. You should also probably include a reference picture just in case you decide to pick some type of obscure anime character that maybe we don't know about, or in some cases maybe they have alternate costumes and we aren't familiar with the one that you're cosplaying. So you're going to do that, send it in to us, and on episode 15 we're going to pick a winner. Now, remember, things like originality do count. We know that you can make a really awesome Link or a really sweet Mario and Luigi, but we've seen those.
We'd be way more impressed with a Samus. Not Samus Rage Boner, but Samus
Aran.
from Metroid.
Or like a really, really cool Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That would be really
If
cool.
you send in a snake, Aniro will just browbeat us until we pick that as the winner.
As he's masturbating.
Yes, as he's masturbating.
Yes, with my giant boner.
So get on that. That's one that everybody has access to. Everybody can do that one. So we expect to see lots of really cool stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And again, the deadline is episode 15. This is episode 13.55. So after Tuesday is going to be our next episode. Did we nail down a date for episode 14? Wasn't it around Motor City? Didn't we try to plan it around then?
Yes, I think.
Hold on, I'm checking.
Yeah,
is that possible?
I think that Sunday maybe is what we were talking about. Because me and Juxta were thinking about. Oh, or was it?
I thought it was the 12th.
I don't know.
Because May's far away. Because it was somewhere in April.
Oh, maybe.
No,
Is it May?
Midwest Media Expo.
Yeah,
It was
that's what I thought.
Weekend.
Yeah.
That Sunday, because then I wanted to go on Saturday.
Is that coming up?
It is. It's
It is?
coming up. It's,
Okay.
I think it's like the 14th or the 15th.
All right, we're going to have to try to figure that out. But
we'll get that to you.
Yeah, we do have episode 14 in the works, and a lot of it is going to be reactions to 2.55. So, make sure that you join us for that. But your deadline is episode number 15. All right. Just want to talk real quick about some of the funding updates. I want to thank all 66 of you that have given so far on Patreon for a whopping total of $1,531. That is truly amazing. And that's per month. And I cannot thank you guys enough for your generosity and your support. It really is truly awesome.
Humbling.
Humbling, yeah, to know that something that we make can mean that much to a group of people.
Like in your wildest dreams.
Yeah,
we started this last week. Last month.
No. I thought at this point when we unveiled the Patreon campaign, I was sure that at this point we would be at maybe $600, maybe $700. That was my high side expectation.
Right. We went into this planning on okay, can we transition into doing this twice a month?
Yeah,
we'll make that goal, and can we do it twice a month?
Skipped right over that one.
Yeah, and
went right past it.
It's really truly amazing how generous you guys are, and I can't thank you enough. But I just want to point out a figure here, and that's 66 people giving at $1,531. Okay, That's awesome. But I know our audience is way larger than that. I mean, 66 people is there's 100 more people listening right now to this stream than there are people giving on Patreon. And there are almost 14,000 of you that download this podcast every week. We see these numbers, and so we have a good idea of how large our audience is. And so I just want to take a second to remind you that a lot of people are coming in at the $10 level, the $20 level. A couple of people have come in at the $100 level and the $250 level, which is
spectacular.
And we love you.
And
You're
that's
amazing.
So amazing, guys, and we thank you from the bottom of our heart. But here's the thing is that we understand that financial situations change and that your commitment to Limit Break Radio may not necessarily be a permanent one, and that if your financial situation happens to change, that your gift level could end up changing in the future. And we just we want to remind everyone out there that even if you think a $1 donation or a $5 donation a month is puny or small, that it really if enough of you come together with $1 a month, that it will provide us with a great deal of support and some longer term support, because I know that almost everyone can afford $1 a month. I mean, that's $12 a year.
If half of our audience donated $1,
yeah,
I could quit both my jobs.
Yeah, we do
exactly.
this full time.
Did
Exactly.
I just blow your mind?
And here's the thing is that you get something out of it too. We're hard at work making a bunch of bonus content. After we wrap up the show today, we're going to record an after show video that we'll put out for Patreon, Patreon subscribers, as well as we're going to be making a fundraising video, stuff like that. Even just $1 a month, that gets you into our test audience, right? So right now our test audience is only 66 people, and we're on the hook for creating a whole new gaming show, right? And so when we make that gaming show, guess who's going to be the first people to hear that? It's going to be
lucky guys.
It's going to be everyone on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So your feedback, your initial feedback, is going to be critical to shaping the product how we move forward.
And it's $1 for that.
And it's just $1 a month.
The other cool thing that you recently added, if you guys recall a few weeks ago, we tried doing a Limit Break actual radio thing on Twitch, where when we weren't streaming, we were playing Final Fantasy themed music. That got taken down, unfortunately, but
yeah, that didn't exactly fly. But yeah,
Nero has found a new way to get that up.
Well, it's not exactly a new way. It's sort of an old way. It's a Shoutcast radio stream, and right now it's in its beta form. And really savvy users who know how to look around on the Shoutcast directory will be able to find it because it is publicly listed. So I mean, it's just kind of a bonus to be able to
another
get
quick way to get to it though.
Exactly,
$1.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, just $1 a month will be able to get you that link. And it stands to mention also that the Shoutcast server is something that we want to make public moving forward. It's not something that we want to keep private for subscribers.
Testing stuff.
Right, exactly.
You're our guinea pigs.
Yes. So we're going to be announcing some new reward tiers as well as some new funding goals in the next couple of weeks. Be on the lookout for that. We have not started our fundraising auction. Honestly, we've been so bowled over by the support that we've received on Patreon and through PayPal when we're streaming live that it's kind of slowed that up. And I think we want to give you guys a little bit of time for your wallets to recover before we launch that on you.
Yeah.
But that's still going to be coming up as well.
Yeah, the LBR office, though, has been a buzz with all kinds of chatter and brainstorming over all the different stuff that we could possibly bring you in the coming months and the coming year.
And needless to say, there's a lot more coming.
Oh, no. I left my sounds on. Whoops. I'm going to have to turn those off.
Get good.
Well, we need some get good stamps.
All right, so let's talk about some Final Fantasy XIV. Let's talk about some of the latest announcements. Gifting is now available on the MOG station.
Oh, excellent. I still owe my our benefactor a birthday gift.
That would have been nice for Christmas, for Nero's birthday for me.
Yeah, exactly, wouldn't it? It would have been really nice. Why didn't you put that out around Christmas?
Yeah,
that would have been the perfect time for
that's
it.
gifting.
So that legit means you can buy anything on the store and gift it to someone else.
I need to rewind here. Your benefactor, you missed your benefactor's birthday.
No-ish, yeah.
Oh my God, this person gives you untold riches, and you missed her birthday.
I felt so bad. Like you have
Oh
no
my God.
idea.
You're a terrible. You're legit a terrible person.
You want to know why? Is because I actually Facebook.
Because you're a terrible person.
Facebook is where I get all of my like birthday reminders from.
Right.
And she doesn't list it on there.
It's exactly your fault,
That's no
idiot.
excuse.
That's Gone are the days of actually remembering people's birthdays.
I remember it, right? Like it's February 16th. I know that
now.
No, I know that. But the problem is on the actual day of, leave me alone. So terrible.
You're a terrible person. It's okay.
I feel so.
You douchebag.
Yes, thank you, Juxta. But I really do feel terrible, and I haven't been able to get her actual present because I haven't had the money on hand yet. It's been really tight recently.
All right.
But with the gifting available, oh yeah, she's getting like all of the scions.
Okay, go on another apology to her, Carlo. God. All right. So they've also added event recruitment on the Lodestone, so you can now plan and host your own event.
So like Party Finder on the Lodestone.
We're probably gonna be doing something like this for Limit Break Radio. It seems like Limit Break Radio would be prime for this.
Yeah, no, you're right. That would be really cool.
So yeah, whether you plan to meet with fellow adventurers in or outside of the game, you're free to create any type of event you'd like. A successful event should be both inviting as well as and well planned to ensure everyone has a fun time. So there's stuff that you can do that'll outline different events, and you can look those up on Lodestone now. So that's a pretty cool community thing. So you can look forward to that. Honestly, I haven't really read that very much, which is why I don't really have any solidified plans for anything. It looks like our Patreon just popped up to 1536. That's pretty cool.
Woohoo.
Our Patreon notification alert works. Thank you for
testing that for us.
That's awesome.
And I think we should all take a moment just to thank Aniro for the hell he went through to get that to work.
Oh my God. You guys have no idea how much some of this overlay stuff really...
I have never seen him so... I was on Skype with him for 4 hours while he was doing that.
Yeah, I was at
raging in the background.
I was at a point where I was babbling to myself. I'm like, why doesn't it work? Why? Why?
And yet Nika and Juxta still manage to break it every time they start to stream.
Yes, every time. They broke. No, you guys broke it. You guys broke it today too. No, and actually, thank you, Nika, to showing me how to fix that when it breaks. So
yeah,
we're all learning together. Yay! But it looks really cool. I'm really satisfied with the way that it came out. So
our show's being renamed Limit Break Pop Up from all the notifications.
We're pretty butthurt about it.
Pop-up break radio. Also, the other thing that was just announced the other day, the next live letter from the producer is going down Saturday, April 11th at 3:30 a.m. Pacific. We'll definitely try to. I mean, we've
all learned Japanese since the last live letter. It's exciting.
That definitely hasn't happened. But we did this thing for the PAX panel where Nika and I were hanging out for for the live panel and just doing some reactions and then doing a wrap up pretty much right after. Scalia, you did one for the FF11 press conference for some reason.
Hey, you know what? I don't appreciate that laugh because people turned out for it. It was still fun. We had a great time at 3 a.m. watching all this stuff we didn't understand a word of. It was very exciting. I hope someone... the sarcasm is just dripping in here. I assume we're not going to talk about that today.
No, we're absolutely not. No,
we're full already.
Why would we? Yeah, look at this. Think
that's true.
Where in the 22 pages of this fucking show outline do you think that there's FF11 shit?
I guess not.
Oh my God.
On the 11th page.
On the 11th page.
If you want to talk about it, you
Wait, can I talk about it on the 6th page?
No.
Okay.
Get out.
I tried, guys.
So,
I tried so hard.
so they're going to be unveiling the Heavensward opening movie. They're going to be premiering that, as well as special Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward Q&A session, and Yoshi P will answer questions taken from the official forums. Again, that's going down Saturday, April 11th at 3:30 a.m. Pacific. We will be here live. We encourage you to do, maybe a multi-Twitch situation where you've got the official live letter going on one, and then us going on the other, and you can hear our reactions, and then we'll do a wrap up somewhere after that. So there was a live letter that we still have to talk about. It was a little while ago. We didn't do a reactions for this one because there wasn't really much of a point.
Yeah, we were put to sleep by it, and not because it was 5 in the morning.
Yeah, but the pricing has been announced for the special edition, digital standard edition, all-in-one packages. Everyone pretty much knows this. The boxed version of the special edition is going for $129.99, which is about where I thought it was going to be.
You can't put a price on good pussy.
Whoa! Whoa! I mean, I guess, but talk about inappropriate. My God.
I thought that was going to be my new intro tag. Dang. I was just going to point out, by the way, the chat is a Twitter right now with FF11 talk. Just saying.
I see what you did there because you're a cat girl. That
was the joke, yes.
The special edition features an epically cool box, a dragon figurine, an art book, and an ARR Blu-ray movie disc, which contains a trailer compilation. The digital version is $59.99, and both versions have the in-game items of a flying griffin mount. Wow, that's amazing! Flying griffin mount, a Dark Knight Baron Helm, modeled off of Cecil from FF4, Wind-Up Kane, and Fantasia if you want to change to Ora. The standard version boxed in digital is going for $39.99, the all-in-one boxed in digital $59.99, and the pre-order bonuses are the Baron Circlet and earrings, so in case you want your paladin to look like other Cecil, like the less cool Cecil,
whatever,
and also Chocobo Chick Courier. So yeah, if that's stuff that you care about, then you already know about it, and you don't need to hear it from us.
Breaker wants to know if that was Nika doing that drop.
No, it's always me.
No.
Unfortunately, Nero had the bright idea of always putting Juxta in charge of the drops that you hear on air.
Hey, it isn't art, so it takes a long time to learn timing and stuff. So
yeah. Yep.
So far,
don't you wish you were flawless like me? A towering inferno of physical perfection?
Wow, that is long.
That's a long one.
Yeah. Why don't you cut that? That's all you on here.
Like I said, a mistake.
So early access begins June 19th. June 23rd, official service for Heavensward begins. So March 31st, that'll mark 2.5 Part 2. Some of the changes that we're going to be seeing: Final Coil of Bahamut will be added to the Duty Finder. World of Darkness weekly gear lockout will be removed. The amount of MGP you receive in Gold Saucer will be adjusted.
They lower it.
No, they said they were going to double it.
Double the mini games.
Double the mini games, and they're going to add more to Chocobo Racing and change the...
I feel like certain fates should give more as well.
You mean gates?
Gates, that's what I meant, yeah.
Wait, what's a mini game in terms of the Gold Saucer?
Like
those little...
that's what I would say.
The arm wrestling and stuff. Oh. Those mini games.
Well, no one's ever going to do those anyway.
Terrible. I've never done
But they're doubled.
It's double zero is still not good.
All the pop-ups are going to give me a seizure. Hashtag get epilepsy.
Adjustments are going to be made to the Triple Triad tournaments. Wow, that's really needed. We don't really... do we know what?
Well, I think right now the people that are winning are just getting handed wins by their free companies. So maybe they're going to try to change that somehow.
I'm kind of clueless to even what the problem is. I just know that a lot of people are really butthurt.
Well, here's the
about
problem. People like Callow go on into the link shell and say, "Who wants to let me win 5 times tonight?"
But it's not even that easy, because once you win against someone, they're worth less points. So the people who are way at the top are finding people.
15 worthless people to give them points.
20 actually, as of the last tournament. 20
there's
wins.
20 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it might actually be the terms of reward distribution, because I think only the top 3 players get the card.
Yeah, that's kind of lame too.
Which is, terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think because if you beat higher ranked players, you get more points, and so they just find people to sacrifice. themselves.
Essentially. See, now if I wanted to, what I would be doing is getting in Party Finder and being like, "Do you have 60 cards? Have you won some tournaments? I'll give you 100K to let me win."
Yep, that's pretty much what people are doing, just not so publicly.
Yeah, good job. Way to be super...
I don't have a lot of money right now. I'm down to like 2 mil, so I can't do that.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you suck.
He doesn't say that he wouldn't do it. He just says he can't afford to do it.
He's down to 2 mil of gil he never earned.
Because I bought the Mog Blades, the glowy ones, remember?
Oh, that's right. They were like 3 mil in the auction.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
I got them
I would have
super
bought those
cheap.
too, yeah.
Why did you buy those?
Because they look sweet and they go
They're
with my
glowy.
Warrior of Mog cosplay.
That's just stupid. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Coming from you! Like,
terrible.
really? Coming from the guy who took his ninja PvP armor and dyed it the colors of the fucking rainbow? And my Warrior of Mog is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought it was garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot. Props on that drop, though. That was a good one.
That was well timed. Considering making balance adjustments to Triple Triad NPCs, since we've received a lot of feedback that certain NPCs can be a bit too strong.
Just get good.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
How many cards do you have, Juxta?
I gave up. I don't care.
That's what I thought.
There's no rewards. There's no point.
More cards.
It is its own
I have, like,
reward.
64.
Exactly. If it's its own reward, then you know what? You guys can get good, or just it doesn't even matter. Who cares? I'm not increasing my item level by doing. Oh my god, I sound like Nika.
Is that a problem, Juxta?
Oh my god, I need a drop for myself.
Oh, you're terrible. Terrible.
Jeez, man.
You sound a little butthurt.
Yeah, you do. You sound a little. It sounds like, you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like you weren't getting cards as fast as everyone else, and you were like, "Screw this! I'm out of here. I don't want to play anymore."
I'm supposed to be the card player here.
You were that kid. Were you that kid on the playground that like when you. When you were losing, you would just be like, "Screw this! This game is dumb. My controller's broken."
Still butthurt.
True.
You guys, I'm going home.
If I can't be the best, I'm not anything. Forget it.
No, if you can't be the best, it's not important, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Finally, the truth comes out. MGP changes are coming. Mini games will give double MGP. We just talked about that. More MGP for higher ranked Chocobo races. Also buffed EXP for those. Nobody does Chocobo racing, so nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Many more changes to Gold Saucer. Please look
good.
forward to the patch notes.
Okay, let's move on to something important. Next bullet point.
No.
Well,
I think the point of increasing it from Chocobo Racing is because nobody does it, and this is to get more people to do it.
Which it makes sense to me that the higher rank you get, it should give more MGP. Otherwise, what's the point?
What's the point exactly? Yep.
Okay, well, still, what's the point? Because even at that point, it's like you don't get anything from it.
You get MGP. It should be another way to get your MPG to get prizes, like doing Triple Triad. The harder NPCs give more MGP, so shouldn't the harder races give more MGP?
That's true. I guess if it's a way to farm MGP, that's something.
Also, and big shout out to Nell for this. Magitech Mount will now get its own theme song. It's, quote, that song from FF6. For best results, get 2 friends and march together when it's snowing. I know that Nell was the one who had put the bug in Yo Sheep's ear about that at FanFest, and what a great suggestion. And I know that that of the stuff that we know about 2.55, I think that's what the most people are excited about.
I have to turn my mount music back on. I remember turning it off.
I know. My mount music is completely off. It's been off since day one.
What?
Yep,
How do
mine
you
too.
live without getting to hear the Fat Chocobo music when you walk around?
I don't even know what the Fat Chocobo music is.
So good.
It's the best.
Oh man. All right. So there've been there have been a lot of interviews to come out from PAX East 2015 and a lot of stuff to talk about. Does anyone want to kind of like start unpacking this here? Because I was the one who made this outline.
This is not an outline.
This is a novel. Okay, you literally copy and pasted everything onto the quote unquote outline and was like, "All right, guys, I made the outline." But I'll go ahead. All right,
cool.
So the first bunch of information that we're gonna garble up here comes from the Famitsu interview.
Did we say that right, Nika?
Yes, Kalu said it right, even though it's still spelled wrong on the outline.
I don't give a shit.
There was some real malice there.
All right, so 3.1 officially scheduled for May 18th. Wait, no, that's
3.0.
3.1 is coming out early.
3.0.
You suck.
Wow. Officially scheduled for May 18th. Is that the early access? That seems really...
No, that's the original.
That's
That's what it was originally scheduled for. Stuff happened. Stop it.
Stuff happened.
This is what happens when you don't pre-read.
I just still thought the same thing.
God damn
you need to put it in there in a way that makes sense.
I need a Benson from Regular Show drop that just goes, "You're fired."
3.0 was scheduled for May 18th.
Good job, Juxta.
But stuff
Great
happened.
work.
But stuff happened. Just so you know, but stuff happened, and that's why the May 18th schedule got pushed back.
Praise the butt god.
Praise the butt god.
Butt stuff happened. Praise the butt god. It's not May 18th anymore. I don't know why you would praise the butt god for that.
Praise the butt god.
God damn it.
They are planning on releasing Mac specs at some point. Woo! Mac specs. The full trailer will be released after 2.55 because apparently there are scenes in it that directly reveal what happens in the MSQ. What does MSQ mean?
Main storyline quest!
my
The main storyline quest, guys.
Get out of here!
The literal
Why
worst.
is Calabone doing this?
You want to take over for us, Escalia? You want to see if you can do any better?
That'll be a step up.
This is awful.
Jesus.
Take it away.
Take it away, Escalia.
At least Escalia took the time to read it.
Did he?
There's picture proof of it on our Twitter.
Oh, he wasn't reading. In fact, he picked it up and goes, "What is this shit? Put it back down." I'm like, no, pretend to read that. Let me take a picture of you.
That's so true, actually. Well, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what PLL stands for either, so.
Producer live letter. Jesus.
Oh, I was right. I had live letter. I just didn't know what the P was. I had live letter. All right.
Oh my God.
They're running an entire theater to premiere the trailer on release. Some lucky fans are going to be invited. I was hoping it'd be us. I doubt it's going to be.
People are paying money for this, just so you know.
This is awful.
Guys,
what the
come
fuck?
Come on.
Well, I had live letter.
People are paying money for the. People are paying money for us.
The next live letter is going to be held at the theater that they're running out, which is cool. The benchmark video was originally 13 minutes long.
What's wrong with that? I wouldn't mind watching it.
I would watch every second of it. I would take notes during it, but it's just so...
So, for the sake of our sanity, that got reduced down to 9 minutes.
I originally read that as in they cut it down to 9 minutes for PAX, but that in the original it would still be 13. I'm assuming...
Well, maybe there'll be a legacy benchmark that you can get where it's still 13 minutes long.
It definitely was not 9 minutes long, the video that they showed out at PAX.
Was it? I don't think
definitely not 9 minutes long. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they cut that down.
Well, Famitsu has probably shown a special one.
Yeah. All right, Aura character creation is going to be extremely detailed, including horn types and coloring. Facial patterns are the most detailed of the currently available races. The benchmark's not going to contain all the options because they're intending to add as much as possible before the release date, so apparently they're not all done. You can save your character detail and immediately continue from it on official release. Horns will be visible, though, when wearing full helms. They've done a lot of work to make sure that the horns don't clip through the gear, which is awesome.
That is really cool.
Now give me a shield that doesn't clip with my hair.
Right. Oh, QQ.
And apparently all the gear that's been made from 2.2 onwards was created with Aura horns in mind.
But not Nika's hair.
But not Nika's hair. Nika's hair is not important.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're not important, Nika. Just remember that.
But they have so many long hairstyles, but didn't do any kind of, like...
change
care
your
to
hair.
try to make it not clip with gear.
Just change your hair. Problem solved.
There we go. Some famous FF characters will appear in Ishgard to the surprise of no one.
I'm going with FF4 because all of the themed things are FF4.
Yeah, that's a good guess. That's a good guess.
Even with the Yang monk armor to the Cecil helmets to the Kane minion, I'm rolling with FF4.
Yeah.
I can't wait to meet Tella.
It's literally like Ishgard is literally just FF4.
I hope they make his hair all frizzy.
The joke is he's dead.
Well, that's true too.
Sid and other key NPCs will move to Ishgard. Probably Rowena too, seeing as how she already has a monopoly in Eorzea.
Rowena's a pimp.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I got a card from her. I was happy. Geralt will be moving somewhere in his quest to craft the ultimate kettle.
What?
Woohoo. Villages and outposts in Ishgard will use names for 1.0. One of those villages survive on chocobo hunting, so I hate all of them.
No, the chocobos.
Can we burn it down?
Murder all
How
chocobos.
evil.
That's awesome. I want to get some
Chocobo fried
Well,
chicken.
you
fried
hate chocobos.
chocobo. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, what up, buddy?
You hate
This
chocobos, you hate minions, you hate triple triad. Why don't you play another game?
I also hate Moogles too.
What is the
Because
matter
he
with
thrives on hatred. That's his whole thing.
Yeah, Dark
Well,
Knight's
you
coming
do-
out. I have to build up the hate.
You do eat downvotes, apparently.
I do.
Nom nom nom.
I do. I feed on hatred.
The 7 heavenly dragons will be the key to Ishgard quest. Nizbek, Bahamut, Tiamat, and more.
That's interesting that Bahamut is on that list of 7 heavenly dragons.
Well, they mentioned that we're going to get his story and how he was summoned and captured in the first place, so that's kind of
Yeah, it says they're key. It doesn't say they're all going to exist
Yeah, not that
and
they're
attack
involved.
Okay, yeah.
Omega will be there too for... Okay, sweet.
us. Whatever.
And Omega.
We've heard a lot lot about Omega.
Right.
Yeah. So.
So talking about new jobs.
New job.
New jobs!
3 jobs.
When...
3 jobs.
yes, all right. When working with buffs, they wanted to avoid the situation like in FF11 where haste was overpowered, so skills and spell speed has been mostly insignificant in the 2.x series. They'll be going through a huge change in 3.0, and dots will be directly influenced by skill speed.
That's interesting.
Because really, FF11, I think, really did kill everyone's love for haste, because it was the only thing that mattered.
Yeah. No,
So,
I agree.
They definitely did their best to make it insignificant.
That's not true. That's not true. Haste was not significant during weapon skills.
That's true, and that's why you swapped out all your gear for that.
Yeah, okay,
one
yeah.
You know,
fair.
they did a similar thing back when I used to play WoW, where haste also affects dots as well, and
Yeah.
it more or less became the end all be all for caster classes that
Right.
had dots as well.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
I know I'm reading right now, but Nate, I think you have to read about Dark Knight, right?
No, I'll take it. I got this.
Okay.
Okay.
Also,
Really?
Dark Knight will live on MP. They consider using HP as a resource, but that would be too dangerous for raids, so they went with MP instead, a.k.a. Care Bears. They are not metal enough.
You just gonna let him gank your Dark Knight like that, man?
That's fine. Go ahead.
You'll
You
use
just have your laughs. Have
You'll
your
use
laughs.
MP to cast a darkness buff that drapes you with a darkness aura. Playstyle will revolve around maintaining that aura, using it for defense or damage.
How do you spell defense, Juxta?
It's definitely not like that.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
I think
that's British spelling.
That's the British way to spell it. That's
Yeah,
why
this
it's
is
not
literally-
underlined in red. See that?
This is literally copy and pasted from somewhere else.
Bro, do you even spell check?
No.
So-
no. Why would I? Why?
Do those little red lines not bug you whenever
No.
you see them? Oh,
no,
man,
not
they
at all.
bug the hell
You know
out of
why?
me.
You know why? Because this took me 3.5 hours to make, and by the end, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't
I
give a
fixed
shit.
one of them for
Butt
you.
fuck it?
Butt fuck it.
Butt fuck it.
You heard me.
It always comes back to butts and boners with you guys.
Praise the butt god.
That's what they're paying for.
It is true. That very first night, when someone asked, how much do I have to donate for a show about boners? And apparently not much.
No. Well,
All right, guys, we have to be careful.
already
It's
exists.
only 2 p.m. We can't get too weird.
That's true. That's 9 p.m. post, right?
God. Well, it's always 2 p.m. somewhere, so keep that in mind. But anyway, no, I mean, in terms of Dark Knight, you guys can go ahead and read it because I'm just going to say I was right. All of my predictions were right. So
I don't know.
no,
I
they
don't
were.
remember you saying any of this.
No, I'm pretty sure you said HP.
I did not.
Yeah, definitely HP.
But we all kind of thought it would be something to do with MP. I mean, they still haven't confirmed if there would
we
be
all
like
thought it, but
absorb
Nate
spells
didn't.
and
My
light
hero was
spells.
thinking it's going to be
I was
HP.
absolutely the first one to throw out Magic Tank, and I'm going to hold on to that. So
I don't remember that.
It just says you'll use MP to cast a darkness buff that drapes with a darkness aura. You know what? Paladins use MP to drape themselves in a light aura for defense.
no.
Yes.
No.
Paladins
It
drape
costs
themselves
MP.
in stone skin. That's about
Not
it.
stone- I'm talking about the oaths.
But guys, there is a level above darkness.
Super darkness?
It's a
Advanced
secret.
darkness?
Yeah, it's going to be like dark darkness that gives you stronger actions and skills.
So it's black?
And
I want to
apparently,
know what this means.
it's a new style of tanking that's probably never been seen before
And that means in any MMO ever, right? Is what
You
I'm thinking.
might want to
like
stock
a
up
brand
on-
new type of tank.
It's a style of tanking where you die and then the mob just attacks your corpse.
But anyway,
Sounds like Dark
apparently,
Knight.
Aniro needs to start stocking up on some piety materia.
Yeah, I see that.
It says
Didn't you
might.
just redo all the materia already, like on your weapon and stuff?
Yeah, for my warrior.
Oh, right, it'll be different weapons.
Yeah.
Duh.
Okay,
Yeah.
now hold on. They say you might want to, so they're actually trolling right now. And so when it comes out, you won't need piety materia at all.
Silate says she's calling it now Dread Spikes.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah, we've
that's
mentioned
kinda
that
what I had
before
said.
too. And we've mentioned maybe like absorb piety.
That's sort of what I
or-
already had said. Whatever. I'm just gonna
They also go on
sit
to
over
mention
here in my
that,
rightness.
your rightness. When you activate a technique that the development team has been calling the dark buff,
Dark buff.
MP will be consumed and you'll be surrounded by this dark aura.
Dread spikes.
A Dark Knight should always be fighting with this effect active. It's also possible to self-buff to increase damage by using the dark aura.
So if you should always be fighting using it, then why don't they just make it baseline?
Because it's
see.
probably going to have to deal with like stack management or something.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the
stack,
Or like,
the
you
stack,
know how
stack maintenance.
Paladin has sword oath and shield oath, and you should
Yeah.
always be taking big raids with shield oath. It's something similar.
The
maybe.
fact that they have multiple levels of this darkness aura, it could be that like at certain stacks, it increases defense and gives you those abilities. But
Yeah.
once you get more stacks, it like switches, and
I'm
now
sh-
you're stronger,
And
but
you
you
get
take more
stacks by
damage or
cutting.
something.
Right. Well, yeah. And like warrior, I'm sure that it's going to also have some kind of DPS element to it
Oh, yeah,
because it is
sure,
Dark
sure.
Knight. So yeah.
I mean, it does say that you increase your DPS. It says it right there.
Yep. For attacking enemies, there will be both single target and AoE ranged magic available. Many people think that MP will be considered important to Dark Knights, but it will be more important to manage the dark power.
See, that's why I say stack
So
management.
vengeance stacks? Manage your vengeance?
That's
Come on.
it. Kind of yeah, a little bit.
I mean, it's... I'm hearing Warrior 2.0, but dark. Just paint it black. Paint it black. I see a warrior and I want to paint it black.
The source of that power does come back to MP, so in that way MP is still important. Within that Dark Force, there will be a system on another level which will further strengthen actions situationally. Tanking with Dark Knight is not like anything that we've had before.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Prepare to get good.
Buddy, what's is my name in the chat? Says kind of like Mudras. I actually think that maybe Mudras would be a better example of something that you would have to manage because it's sort of a newer introduction to the game. As opposed to like Warrior's been in there forever. So, yeah, I like all of the suggestions, and I was right. So I'm
That's what's important.
yeah,
what's important
that
is
is
he
what
has
is truly
he
right.
has FAP material tonight.
That's right.
Nero feeds on hate and being right. That was weird.
Wow.
The desk just lifted up about a half an inch, and it's really making me nervous.
It's a lot of desk to push up.
God damn.
Wow. Oh, God, help me.
Can we not? Can we not?
No.
Let's go on to Astromage. Juxta, would you like?
For the astrologists, they can switch between a healing stance or a barrier stance, and it's actually a bit too strong, so it's going to be restrictions on how often you can switch stances, a delay of some kind. Spells will remain the same, their effects just changed depending on their stance, so it's not like you'll need to juggle 2 or more skills than other classes. Depend on.
I'm gonna fix all these typos.
No,
You're gonna fix the typos after we're done using it.
We're never gonna look at this document ever again.
We have printed
But
copies.
then we won't know about
But
the
you
dongs.
said the red lines are bugging you. I will fix
No,
yours.
no, Nika. He printed off 88 pages for us.
This is there. Do you
We
hear
have-
this?
Oh,
Do you
have
hear it?
physical
Nika,
copies.
Nika, stop it.
It's happening in front. This is real. It's a very real thing. It's happening. It's real. We're doing it live.
Yes, Psycho Monks. Nika took me through T5 with her very helpful link shell.
yep, carried.
Now it's all crumbled.
No, I helped. And I'm pretty sure at one point we actually wiped. There were like 3 people alive, and we
throw that
recovered.
Okay. All
was the
right.
thing.
Yeah.
We are going to give a Nero an aneurysm one day.
All right, so basically, this is like what the ninjas use for their poisons, their wasp abilities. They change the jugulate from a silence to a stun, and then the other one changes the HP heal, or changes the mug from an HP, or changes to an HP heal from a.
Which is it?
So basically, you think that depending on what stance you are, you'll have the same spells. They'll just do something different.
Right. So maybe their cure will add a shield for their shield stance, but in whatever the heal stance is, they'll give like a regen or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So.
That's a lot of. You're essentially at that point memorizing double the spells.
Yeah, but it's not double the spells. So it's not doubling your fun or double mint gum. The names might change, but they're currently called Tsukiyomi and Hoshiyomi. What?
Tsukiyomi.
Tsukiyomi.
Does it matter?
Moon Reader and Star Reader.
Does it matter?
You said we all learned Japanese, and you're proving it wrong.
No, Ascalia said that. Since when do we ever listen to Ascalia?
Nothing he says is ever
Try to
correct.
at least pretend.
No.
Appearances.
I think we're well past anyone thinking
This
that I'm
coming
doing
from the
something right.
person who made her raid group 2 hours late to raid on stream because she had to put makeup on.
That isn't true. That has never been true. It's a joke.
Nika,
And
stop
you've
holding up your
taken
raid.
it and ran with it, and it has never been true.
Stop holding up your raid.
God damn.
May not be true, but it is actually really funny.
They're waiting to raid right now while she's doing the show. It's terrible.
All right, you draw cards to buff your team. You can either choose to use the card immediately or hold it and use it together with the next card. Astrologist can probably be a very busy job and involving, requiring you to think fast on your feet.
So that's interesting.
Because Juxta wants to play it, and that makes me worry.
Well,
Why? That sounds fun. I want to do that.
No, just the fact that like all of your abilities just aren't immediately ready, and like that's gonna be a lot of micromanaging and a lot of just. I don't think I could ever do this job.
Yeah,
It sounds like an ADD person's dream, basically.
Like hoping to get a certain spell or like picking up a card and being like, well, I could use that now, but I might need it later.
Right.
So I'm just going to keep drawing and see what I don't know. It's or trying to get like the perfect combination. But at the same time, I could see this being a really fun job. And like, you know how sometimes you get like those really clutch moments?
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of those with these jobs.
Definitely.
What I really want from this is to have Astrologians to have a spell for DPS that is better than Holy. Because that's the reason why I choose White Mage over Scholar right now, is because Holy is just so overpowered in dungeons for spamming out trash and AoEing. So I want Astrologians to have Holy too.
I wonder what their DPS capabilities are going to be like.
They haven't really mentioned that.
They haven't.
They've said there's a buff stance and a healing stance, and the buff stance is OP. But they've never mentioned anything DPS.
Because the first thing that I thought of when that was said was, you know how as a scholar you can in some cases just put your EOS on to heal and then you do your own thing. Can you just like throw up some barriers and then do your own thing DPSing and not even have to worry about healing because your barriers are just soaking up all the damage? Not in obviously relevant content, but you know, going back and just doing like expert dungeons or something like that.
I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I mean, you know, again, two stances, that's not an uncommon thing for this game. You know, warriors kind of have the two stance thing going on. You know, mages get the two stance thing. You know, that concept is not very new. But you know, the way that they're saying that you're going to switch between them, I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I don't really know what to make of it, nor do I really care because I'm never going to play it. So,
but you play White Mage.
No, I leveled White Mage. There's
and how
a difference.
do you level White Mage? By playing it.
No. Through lazily going through Sastasha on your low level roulette every single week and not like I'm basically just like not wasting my challenge log. That's how I got my White Mage. That's why that's why I'm terrible at Monk. That's why if I ever played White Mage, I'd be terrible at White Mage. I just get it to 50 and then let the gear collect. Because why waste the XP? Bard's going to be my next like non-using job.
Well, that's what all my jobs are. Although I am trying to glam out my Dragoon. I'm trying to get all the CT gear because I want to wear that.
You know what I heard? I heard a rumor.
What?
I heard a rumor.
What?
I heard that someone here doesn't have Blood for Blood unlocked.
That's me.
What? That's scandalous.
That's me because
who would be so
Dragoon.
bad? Who would be so bad to not have Blood for Blood if they have a melee job as their main?
The only forgivable thing is that Ninja wasn't always his main. You know, it was Black
been
Mage
his
for a
main
while.
For quite a long time.
It's been like a main for a while.
You need to get blood for blood, bro. Like now.
You need to get good.
Why aren't you playing
like
right
actually
now?
take your character, go home, take your character, and go get it and come back.
I hurt for your DPS right now.
It's terrible.
Well, good. There. See, now, why would I want to get blood for blood and take this pain away from you?
Well, I mean, it's not just me.
I like that.
It's
You're
every
hurting
party.
everyone.
It's the whole community.
But it's his $12.99 a month.
It's my $12.99 a month.
I think
play how I want to play.
I think the chat room. I think the chat room.
Spam. We need some spam. Get good.
Seriously,
there's a lack.
guys, you need to tell Kahlo what you think of his
let me read something from the chat room.
blood for blood.
All right. First of all, Kookie said she didn't have blood for blood until just last month.
What does she have right now, though?
And hold on.
What does she have right now?
Breaker,
right now.
Breaker says.
Right now, she has blood for blood. She is caught up. She is better than you are.
Breaker says, wait, ninjas need blood for blood? So I'm not the only one.
Oh my God. Get good.
God damn it, guys.
Everyone needs blood for blood.
Jasat, I'm a nin. I have near top quality DPS when I actually try, and I don't use blood for blood.
How do you know that?
But okay,
just
I will
said.
say, take a ninja who does have blood for blood, who knows how to play, and they will beat you. So,
And you know what? Kahlo loves.
You are leaving DPS on the table.
There's what other ability could you swap in
There
potentially?
is nothing.
Nothing.
Kahlo, you are getting an extreme look of disgust from Senpai. He thought we were talking about Juxta, not you, Kahlo.
How does that feel? That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. That he automatically thought we were talking about you.
I'm a good ninja, okay? I do my shit right. This guy over here, if you see him stream, everyone will have a fucking aneurysm, okay? He sets up his ninjutsu by putting the fucking...
Fixed it.
No, his fucking...
He has fixed it since then. He fixed it on our stream the other day.
I just have the one line now.
The one line, thank God, because before he had like 8 copies of Jin, like 6 copies of me and shit. It was
so bad.
awful. Oh my God.
That way I didn't have to memorize the patterns. I could just press them in order, yeah.
Listen to this guy. Oh my God.
Juxta, you sound a little butthurt over there.
He is so angry.
Idiots doing idiot things because they're idiots.
Oh my God.
God, his face right now. Look at him.
It's so salty.
It's so bad.
I can taste the salt from here, bro.
Juxta has aged like 20 years in the last like 5 minutes.
I have 8 more gray hairs on my chest now, thanks to you, asshole.
I use that joke every time.
All right. We're waiting, Escalia, for you to pick up the thread here because we're on Machinist.
I wouldn't want to kill all this fun excitement about
Kahlo, what level is your Dragoon? Aren't you like really close to having it?
It's 30. I think I'm only like... I would have taken it only as far as I needed to.
I'd like to point out, he was supposed to level Dragoon when I moved to Sargatanas.
It's a work in progress.
How's that one going for you? All right, Machinist.
Well, you were supposed to play when you moved to Sergeant
But your
Tannis,
Dragoon is 32. Isn't Blood for Blood 34?
Oh, is it?
Oh, my God.
He's 2 levels away.
Oh, my God.
So bad.
Oh, my God.
All right, guys. All right.
I hate stretch goal.
I'll think about getting on that.
I'm just thinking about all of the DPS that we've lost in the fucking last runs that we've done.
Because we really struggled through World of Darkness.
Because that Brave Flocks that we did with Senpai, Blood for Blood would have fixed that.
You don't know.
I do know.
It might have.
We were playing tag with the ads on the first boss. I wasn't DPSing at all.
That was awesome. That was legitimately so much fun.
All right,
that was a great run.
We're all butt healed.
We're not on Machinist yet.
Yeah, we still have 2 more
We'll
points.
be butt healed when
We
he
do?
gets 34.
Oh my God, you guys are taking forever.
We had some quotes, some direct quotes here.
Go ahead.
The best way to put it simply for Astromage is that you'll be able to switch between stances of a pure healer type and a barrier type. One way to think of this is that the healer type would be kind of like White Mage, while the shield type would be closer to Scholar. However, it would be too strong if you could switch frequently during combat, so there would be restrictions on that.
Maybe you have to draw a card to switch stance.
They then go on to say simply drawing a card might be good to buff your allies, but if you hold on to that card and combine it with the next card, you could have to make certain judgments in accordance with the current situation.
So you could
I'm
probably
excited. It sounds fun.
You'll probably be able to stack your cards so you can have during the DPS phase you can just stack it all up and make a one big DPS push, is what I hear from it.
Yeah, or if you know that there's like a big, let's say like a primal limit break kind of thing coming in, and you know it's going to hurt, as one of your healers, you start stacking shit up, so that you can, instead of wasting like a tank limit break on it, for example, the Astrologian, just builds up like this big fucking wall.
Interesting. Okay, all right.
Frosty brings up a good point. 2 Astrologians equals no need for other healers. Very good point.
Unless, since it can be a white mage and a scholar in terms of healing, maybe it can't DPS, and so if you want any healer DPS, you still need the other healer?
If that's the case, that would be really, really bad, because healer damage is actually a pretty big thing in this game. So if you can't do any damage as an Astrologian, I feel like that's putting them at a big disadvantage.
But maybe you can put an Astrologian in one healer slot because it can cover both types of healing, and then have free roam for the other healer.
I don't think
Then
that you
straight
could
up
get
white
away.
mage DPS on the other one.
Yeah, I don't think you could get away with not giving it any DPS, because a lot of this content in game, if you're not in dungeons, you're not doing a raid, you're just off doing your own thing. How are you supposed
How'd
to
you
get
level it
anything
up?
done?
Killing
Oh, that's
100
true.
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, how can you kill your hunting log without any DPS?
Moving on to Machinist. Machinist, when using attachments on their rifles, will become something akin to a cannon. There'll be a charging effect animation, and the longer it is, the more powerful the attack is. Something like Rockman's charge shot. And moving will reset the charge.
So they're like a black mage?
So moving out of DPS, or moving out of AoEs and stuff, is going to hurt your DPS.
Well,
It makes me
that
feel
makes
like
me
you're
sad.
probably supposed to be like charging it, and then when you need to move, you fire it and move quickly.
Or you could just charge it longer. This just means I'm going to have to stand in more
No, I'm
AoEs.
just trying to picture Titan X and how you would do that.
Or maybe we just need 2 Astrologians to heal us through all the damage, since we're not
Right,
supposed to
just
move.
barrier.
Yeah,
just
no,
barrier.
yeah, just
Stack Machinist and Astrologian.
Come on, healer, get on it.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like jobs that root themselves into place, so I'm not feeling Machinist right now from what they're saying.
It says attaching attachments is instant. If you need to be constantly on the move, don't use attachments.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
If
Yeah,
it's
if it's
instant,
why
then
can't you use them if you're
Why does it
moving?
matter?
Yeah, I feel like
Well,
that
no,
should
it's
be the
instant
other
to
way around.
put it on your gun, but then you have to charge it up. So it's like, I don't know.
No, I got you. Yeah,
Interesting.
because you use the attachments to do the cannon mode.
I kind of like the fact that with the way these are working, with the way that they're describing them, you can't get a very clear and concise picture of exactly how this is going to work.
It's
Right,
just enough
yeah.
to tease you without letting you know exactly what's
It gives
happening.
us good discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Gun actions require a stacking gunpowder or ammo buff, and learning when to reload it will be an important skill.
That's an interesting. Choice that they've made there, considering that bards never. They don't have ammo.
Right. Well, and if we're gonna
Oh, no,
have
no,
to
I think
reload it,
this
we
is
better
just
hit
a-
like a truck.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
think
that
a gun
it's gonna,
action is like a special skill or a
Plus,
ability.
I think that the way they say it with it being a stacking buff, I don't think you're going to have items in your inventory. I think that's something that, that they've learned long ago.
So like it would be like an item type that you equip, and then it's like
Oh, yeah, but basically when it says the stacking gunpowder or quote unquote ammo buff, it's going to be similar to like what monks do. Or no, oh my god,
Maybe it starts at 6, and every time you do something.
Sastasha hard mode. The boss, the second boss, when he starts shooting you, he gets a stacking buff. Did this boss just tease Machinist?
Maybe he isn't.
Or maybe he isn't. Yeah. Oh.
Talking like this because he does use a gun.
Live. You heard it here on Limit Break Radio first.
Could also be
Hashtag
something
it.
to the effect of like, just for instance, you start off with like a buff at 6, and every time you fire, it goes down 1, and then when you get down to 0, your DPS falls off until you reload.
Charge or until you charge back
Or until
up.
you charge back up. Right,
that
exactly.
could make sense. All right, see, now that wouldn't be bad. If you have these stacking buffs that go down when you use certain abilities or
Right.
whatever, and your charging is what refreshes those,
Right.
that makes more sense, because then
And-
you could still have buffs in attack while you're moving, and then you use when you're not moving to hurry up and build those buffs
the fact
back
that
up.
it also says if you need to be constantly on the move, don't use attachments, means you can still hold your own without them. Mm-hmm. I would assume.
Right.
So, like, if you're doing
So-
Titan X and you have to move out of landslides and plumes and stuff, that you would still be okay to not attach things.
So this would be the equivalent of machinist positional. So if you have to use your attachment, then you're hitting your positional. But if you have to be in the move and you have to dodge stuff, then you're not hitting the side or the back.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got a quote from him. It says, this is a bit basic, but it's a ranged DPS that can apply various effects by using turrets placed on the field. For example, you can have a turret placed in attack mode used to damage an enemy, or placed in a defense mode used to buff your party. You'll use these selectively in accordance with the current situation while using your gun to stack your own DPS.
And there it sounds like Bard.
Yeah, similar to Bard.
If you use a buff for your party, you lose a little DPS or something.
So it's gonna be one of those kind of like in the middle between DPS and buffing, as opposed to like straight up DPS. Straight ahead DPS.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really liking the sound of it though. Just like again the past two jobs and two jobs. To an
and
extent,
go ahead and reset the timer.
to an extent, Ninja. It's just the mechanics that are involved in these is just so different from what we're used to seeing.
They've really gone above and beyond to make sure we're not just getting, this is another DPS.
Yeah, and it's funny we still use the term rotation because that was something that was invented back in games like this where you literally just had these X amount of moves that you did in an order.
Right.
And now it has nothing to do with an actual rotation. I mean, it's a priority-based quote-unquote rotation, but just that term seems so outdated now.
Right. We got another quote.
If you need to increase mobility for evasion, it might be safer to move without attachments at the expense of some potential DPS. The action to use a gun requires a buff tentatively called ammunition with an action called reload, which will be used to stack that buff. It's simply like ammo, so your judgment of when to reload might be important because there's an ability called quick reload. Thinking about when and where to use these abilities in the rotation might be important, and it's one of the interesting aspects about Machinist.
It sounds like Machinist is going to be like quite a complex job. We have to know your stuff, opposed to Bard, which just caters to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, where you're just dick rolling the
look
computer.
at you
Yeah,
dropping my
Shots
line.
fired, man.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, I like this next bit of news.
Yeah, we can skip over that.
Dragoon's new Limit Break 3 will be revealed first.
Well, this is all about Dragoons. We know that.
Yeah, whatever.
Everyone's getting LB3s, so that's cool. I wonder if Bard's still going to be considered a healing LB.
No, they already said that it's.
Oh,
gonna
good.
Be, yeah.
Good for you then.
No!
You're back!
The Astrologist LB3 will be called Celestial Stasis, like in Final Fantasy Tactics. But since this is an MMO, they can't actually stop time for real.
Why not?
Boo!
I want the whole server to freeze every time someone uses it.
But it'll seem like time stopped, and suddenly everyone is at full health.
Use it for the hunt mobs.
It's actually quite reckless the way it was implemented, so look forward to it.
What does that mean?
I feel like in things like dungeons and raids, you could actually stop time.
You
right?
could if it's an instance, but what if you're at like a hunt?
Yeah, open world.
Quite
It'd be really
reckless
weird.
the way it was implemented. What does that mean?
I like that.
Like Yoshi's like, hey, I got an idea, and someone's like, you can't do that. Too bad. Do it anyway.
Doing it live. Yoshi,
you know who I am?
live.
Okay, this is what
Yoshi.
This is what I imagine happening. The Astrologian casts Galaxy Stop. Everything freezes. The boss, everyone, party members, they get a regen buff, and then the disc tray opens up. Kyle, you look stunned.
Wake up, Neo.
Just breaks the game. Every time you use it, your game just crashes.
All right, so Nika, we're sitting here doing all the heavy lifting, and you're just like being a peanut gallery. You want to actually read something for once?
Sure, why not?
Because you're apparently fixing all of the errors on the script that we'll never look at again.
Well, there haven't been any since that one, so I haven't done any of that.
Okay.
We're at the item levels.
I know
okay.
where we are. I have it open.
Okay.
We're just checking.
I actually did pre-read this, by the way.
Item levels, and Alexander is where we're at.
Then why have we been having these guys who have not looked at this at all read this shit?
I don't know.
Hey,
you
don't know I haven't looked at this yet.
On our way here, Juxta said, I haven't looked at this yet. There you go.
There you go.
Well, he's a
little
liar.
insight into what's going on in the car.
Kahlo is a known liar, so you can't trust him.
Well, what we can trust is that the new artifact armor is based on Amano's original sketches. They tried to be as faithful to his original designs as possible.
That's pretty cool. I'm into it. I do really like the armor design. We went through each of the new AF gear sets on the PAX recap. So if you want to check out that episode, you can find that at either YouTube if you want to see the video, here at Twitch as a highlight, or on our website, limitbreakradio.com. But yeah, the Dark Knight gear looks fantastic. Like
the monk is Yang.
Yeah. I'm pretty much okay with all of it. I do like, though, that like the Cecil look for Dark Knight has kind of been relegated to just the helm, and I'm sure what will be armor added
match,
later.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be from, whatever the Crystal Tower equivalent is. I forget what they said that they're calling it. I
don't know if they really said there was exactly an equivalent.
No, there's two in terms of this is where to go. I'll find it in a second. I'll find what they said. Go ahead.
Okay, well, they did say that the eye-level gear between each patch will be wider than before. So currently it's 20 eye levels with a 10 stop in between. But it says, of course, Alexander Hard will contain the strongest gear available, but there will now be more in-between options available. So before, we'd get 20 eye levels, and there would be an in-between of a 10 eye level gap in between. So this makes it sound like the eye level gap's going to be 40 levels, and there will be much more in between. I don't know.
I don't know if I like that or not.
I mean, I guess it really depends on how it's implemented. I know they said they wanted crafting gear to be treated differently, so maybe there'll be more crafting options, as well as the Alexander easy mode, and as well as whatever the Crystal Tower thing is, and maybe the Sky Island whatever gear. There'll be a lot of options, so it's not just best.
There's too much gear now. I don't like it.
Too much to hold for glamour, not enough space.
I know. Oh my gosh, I'm screwed. We need more retainers. I need a retainer.
Chuck's going to have a point where he's just throwing away old gear and weeping openly.
I need a retainer for each gear slot. That's what it amounts to.
Oh my god, you're literally the worst.
Well, you can buy more. Do you already have the maximum?
I have 4, Nika. I have maybe 80 spots between all 3 of them, or all 4 of them.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I know. We need more. Make it happen, yo sheep.
So we're going to do some new daily quests. The Fat Chocobo might fly. Maybe.
Well, new daily quests Beastman type quests.
I'm sure that's what they...
Yeah, because didn't at some point they previewed a different Beastman...
Yeah, the Nath, as well as, what's the other? The Vanu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's... Yeah. I think if the Fat Chocobo flies, it should only be half as high as the rest of them.
It should definitely struggle to take off at first.
I think
it should dip low first and then just slowly get up to altitude.
When you're flying with the Fat Chocobo, there should be balloons.
Bomb balloon?
Oh, there you go.
That's what puts it up into the air.
There you go, kind of like the bomb chair.
I wonder if that bomb one, because if you look at the current mount guide, it tells you that the Ahriman and the bombs are flying mounts. So I wonder if those will fly. Yeah.
Really?
And they say aerial mounts, and the rest of them say terrestrial or ground or whatever.
Interesting.
I don't know how I feel about this. Someone says listening to Limit Break Radio for crafting info is like going to McDonald's for a Whopper. We're getting there, man.
None of us really
We're
craft
trying.
We're
getting there.
Crafting doesn't matter, dude.
I have a 2.5
We're trying to fix that.
Something.
I just pissed off all the crafters. We're gonna get crafting hate mail. Oh my god, this is such a complex part of the game.
The Zodiac Weapon Quest, or more accurately, a weapon that grows with you throughout the story. That will
worries
continue.
me.
That will continue in 3.1. The overall concept is still going to be the same. Time in exchange for strength, but there may be some changes. Please look forward to it.
You guys let me read 2 bullet points and then took over
Hold
again.
on. It says those will be revealed in time, so we exchange time for strength. So would those be revealed in strength as well?
That was dumb.
So, I've also got the Gamer Escape article pulled up here as well, and I didn't have time to throw this into the outline, but it says here we first asked about item progression in Heavensward and how completed Zodiac weapons or Lucius tools would be addressed. Yoshida first confirmed that there will be the new relic progression within the 3.x expansion. It's not yet finalized whether it will be identified as a continuation of the 2.x progression or a brand new concept, but it will continue throughout the 3.x expansion starting at 3.1. For those that have completed Zodiac weapons, they are planning on having some advantage for those players in this new progression. Yoshida also mentioned that players should understand, however, since the level cap will be increased to 60, that higher item level and with higher item levels, there will also be new weapons and higher item levels, and the new relic arc will start at 3.1. We also confirmed that level 51 gear will start below eye level 135. So just a couple of points of clarification. It seemed kind of appropriate to throw in there. So
I can't imagine someone leveling their first job, getting level 50 with level high 55 artifact armor, and then all of a sudden 51, they're 135.
Yeah. Right.
That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, no. It makes it. I see what they're doing with gear progression. It makes sense.
So let's get to the exciting portion of this here.
Snowboarding!
Yeah, the PR team has ordered Yoshida not to say anything about upcoming Gold Saucer events. So this is a what would Yoshida do if snowboarding was implemented in the Gold Saucer. I'm ready for snowboarding. I don't know about you guys. Like, I want some freaking 1080 snowboarding in the Gold Saucer.
It looks like if Yoshi has his way, there's going to be like a whole little quest line about just getting your board.
Right, yeah.
Carving it out of a block of wood, deciding on the camber, locker edge, thickness.
That sounds like too much work.
Deciding if it's a trick, right?
Board.
Like, I don't even know what half of these terms mean.
Well, if it's a trick board, you're doing tricks on it. If it's an Aspen board, you're like racing down in it.
Boring.
How do you... What, do you actually care about this, Ascalia?
No, I just
And then it would say you need a whole range of courses with half pipes and aspens, and it said if you didn't have that, there'd be no point in even making your own board. So you'd need a whole bunch of like different levels to go.
Oh, he really cares about this.
Snowboarding is going to be the next triple triad.
Oh, God.
Well, it says Yoshida's from Hokkaido. I think. Is there a lot of snowboarding in Hokkaido?
He really cares about this. Have you read this?
No, I mostly just copy and pasted it. I made it. I made it.
I don't made it, so he doesn't have to read it.
I don't have to read it. I made it.
That's just like the same thing as reading it, kind of. His eyes glanced over the words. He knows that they're there.
I read most of it.
And printed it off and paper clipped it together for us and then bitches at us that we haven't read it. And he hasn't either.
Well, why would I read the snowboarding
I should get a bonus.
Oh, God, I hate you.
Nobody cares about snowboarding anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, why couldn't it have been Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in
Let's
here?
move on to the next thing that nobody cares about, crafting.
No, I care about it, so I can read this part because I actually do craft a little bit.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
Okay, and this is what I was kind of
Let's
saying
get a
before,
Whopper
is
from
that
McDonald's.
Let's McDonald's Whoppers.
The
current concept of...
Can I get a Frosty from Wendy's?
Actually, yeah.
Yes, you can, actually.
Oh, is it? Is that a thing?
Frosties are good.
A McFrosty.
A McFrosty. There we go.
It says the current concept of 14's armory system is so that you can be and do everything with just one character. Along the way, crafting became a little too hardcore. First, it started requiring everything has to be HQ or nothing. Then it starts requiring you to max meld every single piece, and eventually you need to do it for every single job. What it started as a can be anything twisted into a must do everything. Well, it may have been enjoyable for the really hardcore who enjoy this kind of gameplay and grinding. It pushes away the people who just want to do a simple bit of crafting now and then. So what they're doing is a Meister and scripts system. We're trying to get back to the core philosophy. Something about how you can specialize in one or two or like become an apprentice or something like that.
That sounds
it
a lot
says,
like 11.
Same problem with gathering. Everyone ended up gathering the same thing, creating an oversupply, thus making it difficult to create useful craftables for battle. In order to give more meaning to craftable gear and items, and to implement the next materia system, whatever that means, we need to control the supply of items and create differentiation between each gatherer.
You know, that's something that I've saw that FF14 doesn't have compared to other games, including FF11, is consumables. There's no reason to eat food unless you're leveling. There's no reason to use...
You mean unless
or if you're doing an endgame, yeah.
Apparently you need an endgame,
You don't know. You wouldn't know anything about that.
I mean, why would... I don't... Whatever.
I never used food leveling. I only use it for endgame.
Yeah,
because it gives
I second
3%
that.
XP buff.
XP buff.
Yeah.
Dumb,
guys.
Come on.
Get some oil
That's
in
not
the
real
powder up
food.
in here.
XP buff isn't real food.
Level faster.
Any food gives you it.
Every food gives it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, compared to like, again, in FF11, you know, you were always eating food for whatever.
That's true.
Even if you were just going on doing merit parties, you needed your accuracy.
That's true.
I agree.
That's true.
I only ever spend money on food, and that's it in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
in
needed
World of
oil and
Warcraft,
powder to
you
go
had
anywhere.
Yeah, and even in WoW, you had food, and then you also had your like pots and potions and
Sneaking and
consumables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In the final endgame raids, we do have like our healers do use X ethers, and we do use like poison potions for a little bit of extra DPS. So it does exist a little bit.
See,
that's like the very end top
Yes.
tier where you need that.
See, but that's one of the things that I and I've said this for a while that I miss about FF11 is that open world aspect that had an element of danger where you needed the sneak and invis pots to get around in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to wonder, that would be a nice element to move to add moving forward. And they've got 10 levels to
That's
add.
more or less because we don't have like open world dungeon type of
That's
areas
true,
where
yeah.
like we only have open areas where you can outrun everything.
Right.
Whereas in 11, if you're in a dungeon, you can't be on your mount. You couldn't, outrun everything. So you'd have to sneak by or you'd die.
And there was a balance to it. Like, yes, there was that nice open element of danger where you might die just running around, but do you really miss sneaking and visiting a party of 6 through somewhere?
Yeah, bite your tongue.
You really miss that?
No, they have to buy pots and oils.
But then you have
because clearly everyone
But
always
then
had pots and oils.
You have that one person who waits for everybody to get where they were and like, oh guys, I forgot my pots and oils.
Yeah,
Can
and you
somebody
couldn't
come
just
back and get
teleport
me?
one way
Do you
back.
really want to go back to that?
Yeah, I mean, it
A
added
certain aspect of it.
I don't want to go back to sneaking and invis pots, but I do want open world, very dangerous area. You need an alliance of 8 people with an unconventional party setup to get through there, like 4 tanks and 4 healers, just so you can aggro everything, run to a spot, and then DPS. Or
You
whatever.
just want something that
Just
I can't go through.
Okay, that works too.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a bonus. Bonus boner. What are we talking about?
What? Where did that?
Did
that just got
Ascalia
weird.
just give Juxta a boner?
Of him not being here, yes.
Oh,
I
good
think that's what
Lord.
that was.
Ugh, gross. Ew.
Can I be on a new show now? I gotta go.
Let's continue with crafting gear, shall we?
Because we're not even like halfway through this fucking thing.
Yeah, it says that it's probably terrible balance-wise to have dungeon drops always be the strongest, so they're trying to change that, which is fairly good. I mean, in 11, everyone wanted the Hob +1, and that was a crafted item, so that's good. They're kind of going that direction. With the new system, once you're at level 60, you can then become an apprentice to each respective guild's guildmaster. You'll gain new skills and recipes by becoming a Meister/specialist. You can have more than one trade Meister, but there will be a delay before you're allowed to switch. So you have to pick one you like the best and go for that.
Our beneficiary is going to be
The new
upset.
crafter scripts are temporarily called red and blue chips. You collect them by polishing up and raising the quality in terms other than NQHQ of certain items.
And these are basically going to be like crafter Allegan tomestones.
Yeah, sounds like that.
Yeah.
For gatherers, each region will have something like folk tales, their own lores and stories. You won't be able to see the new nodes unless you've already heard these tales. These are where scripts will come in. And besides that, there are also talismans that you can use to reveal these nodes.
I don't care about lore and stories. That sounds like RP bullshit.
I think it sounds really
no,
cool.
The lore is the coolest part of any MMO, and I
Where's
think
the
this is a really
dragon
cool
I stab?
idea.
I want to stab the dragons. I don't care about crafting
As
I
a
stab.
miner or a botanist or a fisher, you want to stab a dragon. Good luck.
This coming from the guy who, when I came home last night, was leveling his fishermen.
I know, and you know how I was doing that? By utilizing the market board.
Fisherman, did you have to masturbate?
I see what you did
Are
there.
you a masturbator yet?
I'm a master fisher. Master market boarder. I'm level 50 fisher. By buying fish off the auction house.
Company crafts are also coming, which part of these have been a little bit, mentioned before, but houses and airships. We heard a lot about the airship things, how you can be able to build those as you go along and actually see your progress, but no more just going and buying up a straight house. You can now build your own house.
Cool.
Which I'm sure is not going to be an easy task.
Is that only for free company, or can I do that with myself, like my personal house?
I would assume you could probably do both. Houses where you get to build and design your own house. Duh. As the patches come along, you can design your company house into something like a blacksmith shop, if you wish. There will also be something similar to Glamour for company housing, so you can switch designs at will.
Oh, cool. All right.
That's cool,
It's
I
a
guess.
thing, I
It's
guess.
becoming The Sims.
So I can have like a goblet house in somewhere else.
I personally think that it would be cool if they could find a way to push player housing in a direction where we do spend more time in those areas so that it starts to develop into more of a community. I mean, sometimes, when I'm at the Mists at our free company house, we see the people who are next to us running back and forth, and we'll exchange, like, hey, neighbor, blah, blah, blah stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it would actually be kind of cool if there was more community involvement within those. That would actually, I think, be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
If it was more than just
LBR block party.
There you go, LBR block party.
And it would be cool if you could select like friends who are not in your free company to also build a house together with. Then we could have a real LBR house, and
that would be nice.
That would be sweet.
It would be cool. I don't know. I don't see it happening. Real estate is still, people still fight over real estate that's in the game.
They really do. Our beneficiary bought her own house,
Yeah.
and she's had it for like 2 months now, and the people next to her are constantly harassing her. They have a small house. She has a medium one. Obviously, they must have been planning to buy it, and she got to it first. So they've just been.
They've been super salty about it.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah. See, that's and until they can meet the demand for what's already there. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I don't see that happening.
If I was her, though, I would just be like gleaming with pride in the fact that an entire free company wasn't able to raise funds for this house in time.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I'm just gonna drop a dime on it, no big deal.
Yeah.
Kello's just sitting
My
outside,
problem is I wanted a
overlooking
small
their
house.
property,
There aren't
playing
any
with his
left.
dick. Just like, sup, guys? My place. You guys want to come check it out? I just put some new stuff in it. Idly hodily, neighborino.
And that wraps up all the information from the Famitsu article. Now, all right, Nero.
Yeah. Some of this stuff is,
I was going to say,
a bit repetitive.
You obviously just copied and pasted, and it's because we didn't do any of the work. And I'm going to apologize.
You're going to take some of the...
Listen, I have a thing to say. I am going to apologize,
All right.
but because the original outline just linked to all the articles,
Yeah.
which is what we do a lot of the time anyway. And then since we all have computers and tablets in front of us, we bring it up. So I actually didn't realize that you wanted us to populate the outline with specific things from the interviews.
Yes.
Otherwise, had I known you were going to do this and double up all the information, I'd have went through beforehand, because now we're just going to be possibly repeating things over and over again.
Yeah.
Everything that's listed in this next part is repeated.
Yeah, it is. That's all repeated.
So, but anyway, the Silicon Era stuff was next, and it looks like it's all just the same stuff for Dark
it is.
Knight.
It is.
Yeah.
It's all the same stuff for
It is.
the jobs.
Yeah, there's nothing new. I had to just skim through it.
Yep. Like I said, a lot of this info is going to be repeated. Which, again, that's fine because we're at an hour and a half already. So.
Oh,
all right. It looks like the next new info we get is from the.
Hold on, guys. Pause. Do we want to be taking calls?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we never actually said that. So, guys.
Whoops.
Go ahead and send a Skype message to Limit Break Radio with your name, server, and what you want to talk about.
Yeah, if there's something coming in 3.0 that you want to talk about, if there's something coming in 2.55 that you want to talk about, give us a call. Let us know if you want to tell us how bad we are at
everything,
at reading things and crafting
outline preparation.
I'd like to point out, someone from the chat, Evolved Mail, says, who actually does the work at the LBR office? And funny thing,
office in quotes.
A few months ago, we actually brought in an outside source who we thought we called them our PR management team. We thought that they were gonna be a little helpful and do some of the work around the office, but they've kind of just really been lounging around and being lazy in general. So there's actually been talk of firing them and bringing in Kooky, because she's really up in her game and proving herself out there.
That's right.
Kooky, #1 LBR superfan.
She showed up for my stream. Like, that takes dedication.
She's actually started her own stream now recently.
Oh, good for her.
The other day, Kooky's Random Adventures.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Go Kooky.
So, you guys, you should definitely check out Kooky. Give her a follow and whatnot, because she's good people.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not sure where it is in this, but one of the things that I do remember reading was about Alexander Hard Mode. And that is, they confirmed that there's going to be 2 different sets of gear that drop between normal mode and hard mode. The hard mode stats are going to be obviously better, but they're going to look very similar or the same.
Oh God, thank you. I do not want to have to get 2 sets of exactly the same thing for glamour.
Yeah. So yeah, you could think of it as like glamour purposes, but they also said, that the normal mode gear will help you beat the harder mode,
Right.
but that in terms of progression, you're stuck with having to do the harder mode. They're not going to attach progression to the easy mode, and that makes me extremely happy. And for all of those people that wanted to give a shit over Get Good and railing against Coil story mode and saying, oh look, but they're doing Alexander in story mode. Well, yeah, I guess they are, and you get gear out of it too, but you won't be able to progress to the next tier unless you #get good enough.
So if I wanted to do Alexander Leg 1 and 2, I have to beat Alexander Leg 1 on hard mode to get access to it.
I would think that progression would be like the brick wall challenges, like T5,
Okay.
T9, you know what I mean? Those types of things. So I would think that if we're gonna get
easy mode is like a learning mode. Then you do the easy modes to learn how to do it, and then you have to go in and beat hard mode to get to the next tier
something
of it.
like that.
So my question is, the difference between them, do you think it's going to be mechanical or just straight like statistics? It's going to have more HP. It's going
to be mechanical.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it's going to be mechanical.
Well, a combination of the two, I would think.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
obviously,
I
yeah.
think it'll be like like normal mode, primal, or
Titan, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, where they're just throwing more of it at you. Or I mean, like I've never done the Savage Coil, so I don't know how much more they throw at you or how they change it.
Mm-hmm.
But I sort of envision it like that in my head. I guess.
They
I'm just
basically make
making
it
up.
like all the mechanics that usually come at phase changes are like the entire fight and stuff like that.
Well, since we're on the topic of raids when it comes to Heaven's Ward, from the Reddit interview from PAX East, they mentioned that when Heaven's Wards drop, there's going to be a 2-week grace period before the endgame content is unlocked, so nobody feels pressured into blowing through the content because they have to get to their raids, because everybody ample time to level up and enjoy that process.
And enjoy, and also learn and get comfortable with the 10 new levels that they're adding, and allow people who are leveling new jobs to get to 60.
So no one has to start bitching about, skip your cutscenes, you can watch them in your in-room later. Nobody goes to their in-room anymore, you jackasses.
I have an in.
Exactly. Like, I want to change my hairstyle sometimes, like, it's in the fucking in-room. Screw it.
Actually, you can get a crystal ball to... Wait, no, you can't. Never mind, cancel that.
They're also considering the option of having cooldowns reset upon wiping an raid. I feel like that's kind of, like, that should be normal. If you die...
It's not, though.
And you home point, reset them. I could see maybe if you're being raised there's a penalty put on you. But come on. Considering options of a training opportunity with no rewards. For example, you could focus on just turn 3, phase 2, and work on getting better at that.
You know how many times I've mentioned that when I've been raiding? And
I have never heard you say that before.
Do you watch my Coil streams?
Why would I watch your Coil streams?
Exactly. With how long it takes to get to T13's final phase, I was like, I wish we could just practice the final phase, get no rewards, and then start the fight over.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I like that idea. It's a really good idea, and I think it'll help a lot of people learn.
They're also looking at ways, here you go, Jux, we were just talking about this earlier, to expand the armory system and item storage. They gave some big, long technobabble explanation of the backend and refreshing data, but they're working on it. They don't want to expand the armory system at the expense of the speed of the system.
Makes sense.
Just give me more retainers.
Makes sense. Okay, yeah, just charge him more money.
Yeah.
He has 3 limitations.
And obviously, Heaven's Ward areas will be level 51 and above.
Yep.
We have more stuff on Dark Knight. 4-person primal battles. Anybody want to take that one?
Whenever the development team is developing content, especially for primal battles, we actually have the extreme version first. We then take away certain elements to make the normal or easy modes. For this time around, we were thinking about making the normal content to be an 8-player encounter, but because of the level cap being raised and the fact that we're introducing new jobs, there may be people who aren't quite as familiar with how the system works. So after some deliberation, we are starting starting to consider that we may want to pare it down to a 4-person group. We're still discussing and debating this, but of course, like we mentioned earlier, we make the extreme version first, so paring down shouldn't be that hard of a task. But we still want to assess it and make the final adjustments and tweak it as long as we can. That's why I say. The difference between hard mode and normal mode for Alexander is I think they're going to design the hard mode first and then strip elements out of it to make the easier mode. Mm-hmm. It just seems like that's the way that they're making the game. So
yeah. Also, Nero, you have a better understanding of the whole API thing, so why don't you take this next little segment about that and explain.
Yeah, Reddit asked about the API for add-ons, and the quote here is that we're...
Or Alexander.
Whoa! Wow! No, get him out of the call. Get him out of the call. That was a poor timing on your part, Juxta.
What?
That was bad. That was terrible.
How am I supposed to know that he has feedback?
Well, but you need. It's your job to tell them to make sure that they have headphones plugged in and that their radio is down. Haven't you ever heard that before on the fucking radio?
No.
Turn your radio down before coming.
What?
Taking the call?
No one's ever told me that.
God, you're so bad at this.
I need more training at this.
What happened to being a flaming pillar of success and muscle?
Yeah.
Why is everything always flaming with you?
That
awful. Was the quote you used.
Flaming.
We're still for the API for add-ons. We're still in development. It will still take some more time. We're thinking maybe after the launch of Heavensward, we may be able to give you a visual reference or a screen layout of some sort. Of course, we have to patch updates to go on at the pace we're going at. Any additional side projects that we work on tend to take a bit more time. But of course, we're inching slowly closer to making it happen, and we're continuing to work on it. There's another quote in here from another interview about mod support from the GameSpot GDC interview, where they say, we're working on mod support, UI integration. For those who are looking into modding, Yoshida said, we've heard people and their desire for mod support. We acknowledge it. We're working towards implementing it. So please look forward to it.
Which one of us, when we were talking about what the new healer job could be, said chemist? Was that Juxta?
That was absolutely Juxta.
I think that was
You were almost right.
You were almost right. Why don't you read this next part, Juxta?
Oh, okay. Hold on. With Astrologian Origins... With the Astrologian, there were actually many ideas that were pitched even to name the job. One of the more unique ones was item wielder, quote unquote.
There's an editor note that says one of them started digging around in his phone to try and find an English equivalent to this original concept name. Later in this, it says that they found it and pointed out that it would have been chemist.
Oh, man. In the end, we considered the lore and the fact we're going to Ishgard. The area has a very prominent astrologian presence, and they see the movement in the stars to gauge where the dragons are, and as well as seeing the future by reading the stars. Just like there is an observatory in Querthus, astrologians were a prominent element already existed in the realm. Another unique element and ideas in terms of a healer were that idea was actually pitched. Could we have a healer that wields firearms?
Someone else was close.
Yeah. That was me with my whole Corsair gun thing.
That sounds really familiar there, guys, doesn't it?
That's what I said.
Yeah, we had all these ideas.
So going back to the concept of coming up with an astrologian, of course, there was a talk of can they hold a gun? But in the end, we decided that using cards was a cool idea and consider the culture of Ishgard area where they read that the stars blended in very well. It is a nostalgic concept as well. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy Tactics, you may recognize astrologian as well. So that's why we decided on the healer role with the cards. A lot of debate went on. A lot of considerations were made. It's definitely a very cool healer-type role, so we hope that you give it a try as well.
You know, something else that I have to really give Yoshi P and his team credit for is when they introduce these new jobs, I feel like they mesh really well with the world.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Ninja had, I think, even lore-wise, like a huge impact on the story and on the world. And the quests as a ninja were just absolutely amazing, but like you see it everywhere. And the way they're talking about astrologians right here is just it's awesome. It really helped my immersion. But I really appreciate that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. So you just mentioned Ninja. On the idea of a mid-expansion job, kind of like Ninja. You may have heard it in the panel, but the development team... Wow. The development team... is that the same person?
He said he was ready this time.
Is that the same... Who is it?
It's Nikki7.
Nikki, God damn it.
My radio is off.
You're loud, and there are things going on in the background, and it hurts my ears. But anyway,
he might be on a phone.
You may have heard it in the panel, but the development team is kind of hesitant on adding jobs like this, so I'm kind of torn. Adding a job in a patch update is actually quite an extensive task and a pretty big endeavor, but at the same time, we also understand that the players were really excited and happy about a job being introduced in a patch, so we would love to consider it positively, but at this point we're not able to say. I think that's a pretty good tease that we might see that again.
By the way, hashtag hire Kooky is taking off in the chat.
we should definitely give Kooky a job. Nikki7, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Good. Welcome to Limit Break Radio. Thank you for calling in. I know that you've been joining us in our chat room on the stream the last couple of nights, getting to hang out with you and get to know you. So what's going on? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm hailing from Adamantoise. I'm a paladin main. I raid with a group called PK. I do a lot of stuff in the game: crafting, gardening, market board, bandit. I try to dip my toe into a little bit of everything.
Right on.
Cool. What do you think about the new stuff that's coming out with the patches and the information released?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get that paladin to level 60. You got to hit that new Alexander raid and get into that as soon as possible. That's
right, because a lot of players are going to have a tough decision. Do I take the job that I already have to 60, or do I start the new job right out of the gate? Because you got to kind of pick one or the other. And I've already made the choice. I'm barreling through Dark Knight to 60.
I never really thought about that because I really want to play Machinist.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I want to switch over my main all over again.
Yeah, see,
I'll probably stick with Ninja though.
I think what it comes down to is one of the new jobs going to be one of your mains? Like, is it going to be like your new main? And for me, of course, Dark Knight's going to be my new main. So yeah, I'm just going to be barreling through Dark Knight as quick as possible. How about you, Juxta?
No, not a chance, because it has to be a freaking amazing, overpowered job for me to overtake Ninja, because that's what I am. I'm a ninja now. I mean, that's who I am.
Escalia?
I don't know if it'll be my new main, but I'm definitely going to give Machinist a chance to become my main.
So before Dragoon leveling, or what?
Dragoon 60 first.
I was going to say, Machinist sounds too complicated for Escalia to make it his main. He just ended up
reloading.
I already know what Nika's going to say. She's going to get her Paladin to 60 first, right?
Yeah, and I'm thinking that I'll maybe do like a static with my friends a couple nights, start like testing out the new jobs, and then spend the rest of my like solo time leveling Paladin. So that way I can see, because it's hard for me to tell at this point, like, oh, I'm going to main Dark Knight or I'm going to main Astral Legend without knowing what it's going to be about. Now, obviously, someone like you who's like, I'm a Dark Knight for life, can make that choice.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But when we're just so uncertain, especially when they say like this is a new type of healing, a new type of tanking you've never seen before, how do I know if I'm gonna like it or not? So I don't want to just commit to starting at level 1 and saying it's gonna be my main until I know.
Totally.
So I think I'll spend my solo time leveling my Paladin and then maybe a little bit of static time leveling the new jobs and testing them out a little bit.
So Nikki, you said that you were going to be going straight for Paladin to 60. So what's your next stop after that?
Oh, all the crafters to 60. You got to get that market board on point, because it is very ruthless right now. Even just being a 4-star crafter, it's very cutthroat. But
it's all about who gets there first, right?
You do have to specialize. So are you going to just pick which one would you specialize in, and how would you decide that?
Yeah.
I probably specialize in goldsmithing, only because every job in the game uses accessories. And I think that's going to be a big wealth for anybody who picks that particular craft. Now,
absolutely.
One thing that does exist on Adamantoise is we do have sort of a link shell just for 4-star crafters. So that's one thing I've noticed. I did roll on Sargetanus recently just to kind of look at your market board.
Yeah.
And your prices are about half of what ours are.
Interesting.
We price fix.
But we have like double the population, I think.
Yeah. Adamant Toys isn't that big of a server, but it's no slouch either. It's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, but I think what Nikki's saying is that if you're able to pick up the trends and figure out who the big players are on the market and then get them to all kind of collude together, you'll make way more money.
Yeah, I think we do pretty well. I mean, we're not price gouging, but we do discuss about, are you guys making more Mastercrafts or this and that? A little bit of discussion there. I mean, it's not like a Shadow Empire or something like that.
Right, yeah, and there's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Even if you did form a shadow government, there's not really... I don't really see the problem. It's, you're not... I don't know. You're not doing anything that nobody else can do.
I think with the way crafting works right now, that would be okay. But since they said they want to change a lot of it, give more gear options, and also not make dungeon gear necessarily the best, the whole market board system might kind of change a little bit.
Yeah, well, and I think that's what's interesting. And Nikki, you also identified a really good point that any kind of consumables that any of the new 3 jobs are going to be using, especially machinists being up there. Wow. I don't know. It sounds like you're beating on something in the background, but
let me go to a different room here.
Get out of the beating room. What?
I own child slaves, so
yeah. Nikki was hanging out in the dominatrix room for a second.
But that is where you would call Limit Radio from.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
Stick some boners.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. That any kind of consumable that any of the new 3 jobs are going to be using, and obviously we can already tell machinist is going to be one of those between the different attachments that it's going to be using and the ammo, quote unquote ammo that it's going to be using. Those are two different things that you can be potentially swapping in and out, or possibly consumable as well. So
I would like to point something out from the chat really quick. Smith from 1984, Kudra from the Sargentana server, hashtag bring back the bazaar. That was actually a part of 11.
I actually probably would be okay with the bazaar.
I thought that was a cool idea.
They
did have it at 1.0. Yeah.
I'd like to see that brought back.
You could put up gear in your own personal bazaar and walk around with it. You could even put up gear that needed to be repaired and say, "Please repair this for me." Stick it in your bazaar, and people would repair it for you.
That was
really
the thing.
Cool.
That was the
thing. But yeah, obviously people could argue, well, why don't you just put it on the auction house then? But I don't know. There's just something about having your own personal bazaar that I thought was an interesting part of FF11, and I wouldn't mind seeing that coming back.
You can put a retainer in front of your free company house now and sell stuff.
Yeah,
which is the exact same thing you're selling on the market.
It's so limited.
Yeah. Nikki, we got to move on. We've got a bunch of people that want to call in, and not a whole lot of time. We're already running the clock close to 2 hours here. So thank you very much for giving us a call. You got any shout outs before we let you go here?
I want to shout out to, let's see here, definitely my FC PK, a couple link shows, Random Cunts, love that link show.
Random what?
I just want to say, you guys have a great podcast, and I'll be definitely in that chat room regularly.
Awesome.
You guys, there's a lot of cross-promotion with other podcasts, and I really like that because I've been a long-time listener to some of the other ones, and I just recently discovered you guys, and I'm really liking what I'm hearing, and I like your content and your style and everything. It's just really good all around.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nikki. It's been really cool getting to know you, just hanging out in the Twitch chat for the last couple of days. So thanks for calling up and for supporting. We're always really excited to gain new fans. So thank you so much, Nikki.
You know something, guys? He's right. We do have a good podcast. Yay for us.
Wow. Oh my God!
On the subject of the company airships, because we talked about a little bit about the company crafting, but they did expand a little bit on the company airships point. With the building of the airships, you're not going to be picking up from a list of available designs, but building it from different parts. There will be 4 major parts which go into your free company ship. For example, the engine, fuel tank, the body, and then the sail that propels you and each part will have different designs. As well as different capabilities. If you pick high capability engine that has good power and fast speed, when you send your free company out, it will have high capability engine 2 Scout based on what we're calling a quote unquote sky map.
How ripe is this for like in-game store eventually? Like, what if I want to make my ship look like the Invincible from FF9?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're really good about fan service. So
yeah, I want a Ragnarok.
What if I want the Enterprise?
I want the Falcon from Final Fantasy IV.
I want the
Or the
USS
Death Star.
Enterprise.
Well,
I want a gummy ship.
Get out!
Terrible.
A gummy ship?
Wrong
yes.
kind.
Oh
No.
my gosh.
You get out too.
So cool.
Terrible. It takes up. Let's see. So then you add on a very large fuel tank, but because
I think the big part what we're looking for is once you're able to go out and explore and travel, you can find different types of areas in the sky where you may find things such as notorious monsters.
Yes.
That you can't beat or just end up defeated and having to come back to do them more. You may find other places free companies have visited and trashed and made a mess of it. Or you may end up finding a land where you can find really rare gathering items, materials that you can harvest and such. So
this sounds like a pretty good indication that sounds like an open world endgame area to me.
Kind of stuff. Yeah, interesting.
And they've said for a long time that they want to add more things that free companies can do together, and it sounds like this is that thing. And if you go back to think of the Sky Sea,
carry 80 members at a time, fly around with.
If you make it awesome, that it will.
I don't know how. I don't think we're going to be able to actually see ourselves flying around in the airship.
Yeah.
I think that basically once this is completed, it's going to be similar to when you got the airship in Final Fantasy X. You send it out to chart and you unlock certain areas.
But they said you could find notorious monsters in
No. Wait, hang on. I think that it's going to act as a portal, basically.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah. So basically, you go to, your free company gathers at your, free company workshop, and then basically what it does, the airship acts as a portal, so you select your destination, the airship takes you there, and then that's the way that you get there, as opposed to
going into your airship.
And that would be kind of cool, too, because then I would assume only people in the free company could use it.
And it can
so then you can't party up with randoms, you have to party up with your free company.
Right, so then you would see, you've discovered, wherever Omega is, Omega Island, whatever.
Okay.
And so then anyone in your free company can then go select the airship to travel to Omega Island,
right.
And you would see a cutscene or a loading screen with your airship on it.
But if you're on your black chocobo flying around, that's not something that you can fly
right.
to. You need the airship to be able to get there.
Exactly.
And so those events can stay semi-instanced as well. When I say semi, it means that you can just have multiple parties, multiple free companies, it's still open world, but it's just not literally open world in the same way that we think of there's a destination, we go run to it.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's if that's what they're going to do, that's a great idea. And I they say that, when you get there, another free company could have wrecked up the area. That to me says competition. And that's the one thing that this game has lacked for a long time. Hunt's brought it in a little bit, but competition is a really, really big aspect in MMOs, and I want more of it.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question.
Competition.
Yeah. We got Shinta-Sin of Ultros in here.
What's up, Shinta-Sin?
Hey, what's going on? And speaking of competition, let's go ahead and mention something about Dark Knight, the job that both you and I will be leveling for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
We'll
just take a bathroom break.
That samurais were sufficiently trolled in Dark Knight's announcement.
Yeah,
the latest thing at PAX.
Yeah, we did talk about that. We talked about that in the panel wrap up, where they said during the panel that Samurai was basically, it was like Dark Knight and Samurai were neck and neck, and Dark Knight ended up edging it out.
You can die in a fight.
But Nika, again, I think the fact that they mentioned it and said that they had given it enough thought, I think that's a pretty good indication that it's going to come in the future.
Since there are in the lore, they do talk about Far East and that kind of stuff very similarly to 11. I am holding out hope that when they do an expansion outside of Eorzea into a different part of the world, that we will see Samurai.
Well, the Land of the Rising Sun already has their job. It's Ninja.
Yeah,
now
we
it's
have
time for
Ninja.
Dark
That's
Knight.
planning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we had the TP Bukkake and everything. You know that better than anyone.
And my rivalry with Samurai goes back to 11. And, of course, in 11, I was a Dark Knight main. And, of course, the Samurai had the spotlight in it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and level this job. I'm going to see what Samurai's all about. So I had put in all the work into decking out my Dark Knight or whatever. So as I'm leveling Samurai and I finally ding it to 75, all I had was just some like basic entry-level Samurai gear. And I was just busting out 2 to 3k damage weapon skills with entry-level gear. And then I realized Samurai didn't have to do nearly as much work.
That's true.
And that's why a lot of people did it. And I was pissed.
Samurai's bullshit? What? I'm sorry?
Samurai was DPS easy mode in 11.
It was DPS easy mode. I was upset.
Just for a second, I will say that in order to do max DPS on Samurai, you needed the most gear swaps out of everything. Like, each of your weapon skills, some of them required fucking, like, mind or intelligence, and others were strength, others were dex. It was
Don't
so
talk to me.
Casual samurais.
Do not talk to me about gear swaps for Samurai when I had to have gear sets for trick attack, gear sets for sneak attack, then gear sets for frickin' no.
By the way, every black mage out there just like shit himself with anger. Black mages with their 8 different staves to equip.
Yeah, but there were ways you could macro that into Windower where it wasn't even a problem. Like, seriously, come on.
Shinta, I definitely agree with you. Samurai was a bit easy mode, but you know what? You know what it was good for? It was a really good sub job for Dark Knight.
Shut up.
It was.
It so was.
I really thank you for your Hasso and Segans and everything like that. But after that, Samurai could just go die in a fire.
Yeah.
I really don't care about it.
Nika, now you know how us thieves felt for most of the time. Fuck you.
Sub thief.
And there's going to be Dark Knight in 14. So that's really the ultimate fuck you in the end.
Yep, exactly.
Especially knowing that it edged out against Samurai.
How do you feel about that, Nika?
I have no words, especially because people in our chat are saying the same thing.
Do you guys taste that?
Look,
do you guys taste that? It tastes really salty in here.
It does.
Look, if you want to be a samurai, just be a ninja. I mean, we have like basically the same gear.
I play ninja sometimes. I enjoy ninja.
All right, so you don't need samurai anymore. You play ninja.
Okay, I'm telling you, big giant swords all the time. That's why Dark Knight.
Well, there's Dark Knight.
Yeah, Dark Knight. We're fine.
You're fine.
Plus, guys. Ninja is hard for Nika because she forgot to save her macro set to the server before she switched.
No, I don't know why I did that. I have no idea. All my other things are fine. I've played Ninja like 20 million times just fine, and one day it's like, no, something like that. All your macros.
You just got to hit Control-Alt-Home when you select your character, Nika, and it'll save it to the server. I don't
I don't save anything to the server, so there's no reason that only Ninja would erase and all the rest of them would still be there.
Get good.
Yeah.
Shinta, thank you so much for your call today, man. It was good hearing from you.
Where are we on this outline?
Yeah,
on the
everyone just talk at once.
What?
Well, maybe we should go.
Now
on this
thing
thing where
I'm actually really interested in this.
What?
Whereas
in what?
Deep Dungeon, where you keep
that's my part. I'm gonna do that. Because we're not there. God, we are
do
there.
This content if it exists, Callow. Will I ever see you in a deep dungeon?
Listen, because I had a good lead-in for it.
Up to 4 airships with rankings. Yeah, that's pretty.
Holy shit! We have a section called Playboy.
Yeah, apparently there was
I was really excited for a moment, and I was like, oh, never mind.
There was a Playboy interview.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
The Deep Dungeons, Juxta, Final Fantasy Tactics. Now, I played it, and I was a big fan of it, but...
I hated Deep Dungeon.
What is it referring to? Because for the love of me, I can't recall Deep Dungeons.
It's endgame, and basically the whole entire map was pitch black, and to light up, you had to kill people and have the crystals.
Right.
Fuck that place.
But that's not what they're saying for 14.
I'm just saying what it was.
No, that's what it was in Tactics, though. But they want to use a similar concept.
Your raid members
14.
have to die, and they have to be dead for 30 minutes, and then they turn to a crystal, so you can see.
Like the 14 version of it kind of sounds more like almost like a Diablo 1-esque thing where you keep working deeper and deeper in.
Without the save point.
Yeah, it does sound like Nizul. That's what I I thought,
going
Nika.
farther and farther in, and there's not really any. It's like you just keep going, and try to get to the end, and it's multiple floors. And then if you die or you have to, if you back out, you have to start all over again. Or it's like what's it in Final Fantasy X-2, how you have to go and like Bevel's 100 floors or whatever. It's like that kind of.
Oh yeah.
Nobody played 10-2.
And shut up. I think it would be cool in this game and it says it would be for the really hardcore players only. And I do think that would be something I'd be interested in. I don't know about you guys, but I think it'd be cool.
It depends on what drops from there.
So, if it's end game gear, you won't do it, but if it's level 1 glamour, you will.
So hey, let's actually read the fucking quote. There are some titles like Final Fantasy Tactics that kind of pay homage to the deep dungeon stuff, he said. I would love to take the challenge of incorporating elements of deep dungeon into FF14. Hypothetically, if I did, I would want it to be something where players would continue to go further and further down into the depths of the dungeon. And if you cancel out mid-dungeon or you decide to leave, you would have to start it all over again. It would be for hardcore players. So that's kind of the concept. It's not real, like that's not a confirmation that this is a thing.
No.
But this is just I like the idea.
But I would like to cut Nika down for size. And you know what? I don't like the idea of raids and having static nights and stuff because of the way that my two jobs throw around schedules and stuff. But from the way that this sounds, and people are talking about comparing it to like Salvage or like you said, Night Duel Isle.
Yeah.
This isn't something where we're like, all right, guys, let's meet at this time every week so we can practice and blah, blah, blah. Now we've gotten this far, and now it's resetting.
You could shout group it.
We could do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as a group. Yeah. Hey, everybody free tonight? Let's jump into a deep dungeon. See how far we get this time.
Charity stream.
Yeah, no, I like the idea of a deep dungeon, and I'd like to see something like that moving forward. Yoshida said he also wants to go to the moon at some point.
The moon.
Technically, we were already there.
And
the moon came to us.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't even the moon.
It was a fake moon.
It was a fake moon.
A moon is a moon is a moon.
That moon is a moon.
No moon, it's a space station.
Moon that held
it is not a space station.
Incredibly powerful creature inside.
He used meteor to cast it. Is it a moon or a meteor? You decide.
It's a moon meteor.
A moon meteor. There you go. And there will be possible FF15 crossover events.
Yay!
Yeah, whenever that happens.
So I read through the Playboy interview really quick, and a lot of it's just more rehashed information.
Yeah, I know.
The first response is so funny. He totally trashes on the original.
I know. I love it. I was reading that. It's like, wow, Yoshi.
All right. The first thing was, how intimidated were you to take on FF14 before Realm Reborn was released? Yoshi says, I personally loved the Final Fantasy franchise as I had grown up playing those games. So when I first looked at FF14, I really saw how poor a shape it was in. And I had such a talented staff on board for Realm Reborn, I knew I couldn't do any worse. So there really wasn't much pressure.
I couldn't do any worse.
Oh, Yoshi.
Oh, my God.
Yoshi. Oh, man.
The only other piece of information that I think is worth reading that isn't just rehashed is the next one, which of the current jobs in FF14 will undergo modifications. So obviously he mentions that first and foremost, we're all going from 50 to 60. But with the raise of the level cap, he wanted more skill. Obviously, there's going to be more skills and actions that are going to be added. There's going to be a lot more options that you can choose in combat. Mm-hmm. And he says, we want to make the controls not more difficult, but more complex, more entertaining and exciting, and a more rich experience for the skills and actions. So
That's
hopefully,
awesome.
what we see going into things like Ninja or Astrologian and Dark Knight and Machinist, in these next 10 levels, hopefully we can see some changes that go into all the other jobs,
yeah.
right? Because, and I know Nika agrees with me, I mean, as much fun as Black Mage is to play, it really is a rotation. You know, adding in a few random instant casts here and there isn't exciting gameplay.
No, I totally agree. The other reason that I wanted to bring this up was I was really impressed with Playboy's coverage and the questions that they asked.
I mean, if you ask anyone who legit has Playboy, from what they tell me, is the articles are really good.
Read it for the articles, man.
The articles are really good.
I'm actually more interested.
I mean, the spank material's not that bad either. But
I'm more interested in what they're not covering. Yeah, okay, all right.
Funny.
No, but shout out to Playboy for asking really good questions. This was actually a really good interview, and watch it because it's a hot chick asking.
How much do you want to bet that Yoshi got there for that interview and started going over the questions list and was like, Playboy's asking me this?
Damn.
I have to have good answers.
Well, and the chick kept her top on the entire time too, so that was a little disappointing for me.
And that brings us to emails and stuff.
Yeah, I think we are at emails. Do we have any more callers here?
Yeah, we got a couple I can bring in.
All right, let's bring in a couple of callers. We might have to cut down on some of the emails here because we're running long. But I'd rather get a couple of calls in here.
All right, hold on. Start talking about something else.
So, all right. Well, why don't we?
Should we address Chocobo Dash?
Yeah,
you want to wait on that?
No. If you want to, let's do that. Let's do that.
So, for those of you who listen to Chocobo Dash, last episode, a certain someone may have called out Limit Break Radio or thrown down the gauntlet in her words, and that person would, of course, be Nell Celestine.
What's up, Nell?
At the end of her show, she challenged us to create triple triad cards of ourselves because that's kind of her thing her bit that she's got going on right now. She's trying to get all of her listeners to make triple triad cards and send them in. So we did, and we're gonna start bringing them up here on the stream for you now.
Yeah, here we go.
First up, we got a Nero Grigori sporting his spiffy triple triad card, his A3 stats. 5 stars, of course.
I'll take it.
You always take it.
Yeah. Of course. Next, we got Mia Scalia Rayamasa sporting what else? 6 of 14 himself. 6666. Number of the beast.
Number of the beast, man.
Yeah, that's right.
You should have 6 stars for
life.
I should have 6 stars. Yeah, I'm going to have to go change that. 1 sec.
Yeah. Everything on there has got to be 6.
Just 6s, exactly.
Way to go, number 6. Good job.
All right. Next up, we've got Juxtaposition rocking the 48A4.
That seems kind of weak a little bit.
It's on the weak side. I don't know.
Well, no, because something you have to remember is we have the LBR type up in the corner there. So
yeah, we're going to be ascensioning the crap out of this.
With Ascension, you're already up there pretty quickly, and he makes a really solid top defense, or if you're trying to go against a bottom offense. So no, that's legit right there.
And the one thing that we thought was very important was this next one here. Callow rocking the opposite A448. So obviously, Juxta and Callow can't take each other.
Because we're a team.
Yeah, they're a team. So
we're a team.
Because we're ninjas.
Pincer attack.
Oh, because you're ninjas.
That's right.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you diddle each other's buttholes at night.
What?
Wow. That took a turn.
You know what, Juxta? He sounded a little jealous there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of peanut butter missing from his jelly.
Yeah, that's too bad. Sorry.
And last we got Nika rocking the 75A8 and with the worst shield picture ever. Fuck you, Nika, and your stupid sunlight in the background. That picture sucked a crop.
Thank you, Nika, for that. I appreciate that.
So good job, Ascalia. Nice job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Was it pretty easy to find the template for that? I heard it was pretty easy.
Yeah, it was totally easy. I couldn't. It's not like I could only find like 150 pixel wide pictures and end up having to make my own border for it or anything.
So did you made that one yourself then?
Oh, good job making it. Looks really good.
Thank you.
You made it up?
Well, Breaker actually was wondering if there was a chance that we could put those templates up on the LBR site so that people can make their own.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. Because we were just talking about our new Patreon goals, and one of them may or may not be that if you donate that amount, I will make you one of yourself, and I will send it to you. So you just
that amount.
Us a picture.
That's a really non-vague number.
I didn't know if we were releasing it now. It's $15. If you do the $15 amount, I will make you a Limit Break Radio triple triad card of yourself. So you're going to donate $15. You got to send us a picture. Please make it one that's easy to crop. I would really appreciate that.
Don't do that.
It is not there yet.
It's not there yet. Don't go do it yet.
Please look forward to it.
But it will be there. Yeah, please look forward to it. We will be having...
See, Ascalia just dropping spoilerific bombs here all over the place.
Yeah, come on, buddy.
I don't know about actually printing the cards out, Kooky, but that is something that I plan on looking into, is the possibility of actually making and getting like nice, detailed, high quality triple triad cards. made.
And speaking of Triple Triad cards, we have Fat Suno from Gilgamesh talking about not Triple Triad.
Hey, what's up?
Not at all.
Wow.
Hello, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Hi.
I'm doing well. I'm doing fantastic. Getting back into Final Fantasy after a year break from the game, and I
You have a
am
very nice voice.
I know. I was just going to say
overwhelmed.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It sounds like we should just give you the show instead of
Give me the show.
Yeah,
I can do
you
that.
got a great.
Well, one, I do want to
radio
comment on
voice.
the Triple Triad thing. That game is too addicting for its own good.
Yeah.
Let's put a collectible
There are
card
too
game
many-
inside of an
too many
MMO.
hours that I've spent playing Triple Triad. But no, what I'd really like to talk about is the actual Final Fantasy community itself.
Sure.
I am a longtime streamer. I streamed Magic the Gathering online for a long while, got partnership and sub button, all that great stuff. And
Congrats.
I tried streaming Final Fantasy, and the response was kind of overwhelming. I didn't get made fun of. I didn't get insulted. I didn't get told that I was a horrible, horrible player. Instead, it was a lot of support, and I want to commend the Final Fantasy community on that. And I want to know, what is the Final Fantasy community lacking? What can content creators like streamers, like YouTubers, like the forum aficionados, what can they add and contribute to the community itself? What would people like to see?
That's a really good question, a really insightful question, and we really appreciate the call, dude. That's I think that's one of the better questions that we've ever gotten. And also, it does stand to mention that the FF14 community is an amazing community. For as much as we will, focus on the drama or, what's going on, or people trolling us in the chat room or whatever it is, for all of that, look at how much support comes from the community for things that the community likes.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing for me is just that I come from World of Warcraft. I've played League of Legends. I've played Hearthstone. And in every one of those games, there's always an overwhelming sense of ego and sense of I am better than you and everything like that. And I have not encountered that once in Final Fantasy. And it's absolutely amazing. I can't express that enough.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with you. This community, even going back to the FF11 days, is unlike any other online game community that I've ever come across. And absolutely, everyone should be commended because when someone does step into the FF14 streaming community, it is very supportive. And
I love all the comments on the voice. It's fucking hilarious. I love it.
You have this echo behind you. It's like God.
Well, that's because I live in Florida, and Florida homes have very
high
these
ceilings.
things called sunrooms, which are literally just windows and high ceilings.
Oh,
and
see, there was your problem. You're supposed to call in from the.
Okay. I need to be in
the
my
beauty
garage
room.
with the car,
The beauty
car
room?
running, and dogs in the background with a blender going.
yeah,
Is that-
exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
good,
that's
good.
the
I'll
idea.
get to work on that.
But as for your very insightful question about what is this community lacking, I am constantly surprised by the level of creativity that comes out of the community, and I'm gonna name drop here because fuck it.
But fuck it.
Aethys Asher makes some of the most interesting YouTube FF14 centric YouTube videos that I've come across, and the way that he presents them is, it's a little bit like we do the show. There's no camera. You see him as his character, and he walks you through an idea, whether it's the metaphysical essences of Eorzea, or the metaphysical ideas of Eorzea, or philosophy, or wrapping up the 1.0 storyline and giving a summation of that. He really does do a really fantastic job and provides content unlike I've come across for any MMO ever. And I ever since I've seen it, I've been very struck by his content, very addicted to his content. I'll go back and watch it a couple of times. And I mean, I played through 1.0, and I sat there and watched that video, and I was like, oh, so that's what they were. Okay, like it was. I suddenly got like more of the story than I did from playing. So Aethys Asher, I would use him as a point of reference.
I've been getting arguably addicted to crafting in the last week or so. I've
Yeah.
spent just about every waking hour on Final Fantasy crafting.
Nice.
And spent close to a small fortune doing so. But I've been pretty much obsessed with this one because I'm going to continue name dropping since you did it so casually. I've been obsessed with a YouTuber named Mithri. He streams very often. He does-
Yes, we love Mithri.
Friend of the show.
Mithri's a great friend of the show.
He has literally made an ungodly amount of content. He has crafting videos and leveling videos and what to do as a fresh 50, what to do when you have 0, what to do when...
Yeah, he started out on YouTube.
single situation that I could imagine myself in for crafting, he has made a video about. And it blows my mind.
Absolutely, yeah. Mithri making great videos. He also does a great Twitch stream too. So if you guys haven't, head on over to his Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Mithri. Super good dude and makes really great content.
Yeah, and the biggest part of my question is just that I live to create content. I don't I'm more of the back end kind of stuff with what I do personally. But what I want to know is what people want to see. What kind of content do people want to see leading up to the expansion, after the expansion, during the expansion? What is it that the YouTube communities like the Mithries and the Mr. Happies, what is it that they're not currently putting out that you would like to see? What kind of content do people need to make, or do people want to see made by the big names?
That's a really, really great question.
Now the question's out there. People can respond.
Yeah. Go ahead, chat. If you've got suggestions on what you would like to see in terms of content moving forward, that you're thinking in the right spot, because if you're looking at the amount of content that's out there and then going, okay, what's not being hit, then you're asking absolutely the right questions.
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing, because I've encountered this issue with World of Warcraft where everything is being hit because the game's been out for 10 years, and it's Final Fantasy's only been out for 2 and is rivaling that amount of content.
It is.
There's lore videos already. There's crafting guides. There's raiding guides. There's how to gear up. There's every single thing that I have needed from my return to Final Fantasy to current is available by somebody, by MTQ, by Mr. Happy, by Mithri, by all of these big, great names.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I just can't help but think, like, there's got to be more. I need to get in on this. I need to be part of this amazing community. I need to help this grow further and in a direction that it hasn't gone in, and that's what I want to do.
Absolutely.
But I have no idea where to go with this.
I have an idea which has not been filled yet to my knowledge.
Okay.
Things like Red versus Blue, the Mac Anima or whatever.
Machinima.
Machinima, that's what it is.
Yeah.
We need that. That is what we need. Also, we need your voice anywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Anything.
You can voice over everything we create.
Voice over everything. I did a short little stream as I was finishing up the Hildebrand quest line, and I decided to attempt to voice act every one of the characters.
Oh, nice.
I even did the Hildebrand little song that his mother does. I attempted to sing that, that was absolutely
Do you have
fantastic.
that highlighted somewhere?
Yeah, you should have
not.
that.
I do not.
Did you say man crush?
Did I?
Kastraz says this guy needs to stop talking. I'm starting to question my sexuality.
I appreciate that, guys. I'm glad you guys like the voice.
Here I'll tell you. Since I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit on the spot. I think about content all the time. I think about this question all the time, and partly because I help make content and put it out there for people to consume. I'm always thinking about this. So if you'd be so kind, would you send us an email, hosts@limitbreakradio.com? I'd really like to be continue this dialogue with you, because I think I think that talking about this, you're giving it a lot more thought than just like 5 minutes thinking about it on the spot response would deserve. So
how about an interview type thing we could release for Patreon followers?
An interview.
That's not bad.
not an interview, but a discussion.
Yeah, we could do like a round table.
It needs to be an audio discussion.
Yeah, round table discussion.
Jeez.
No, I love seeing communities in games like this grow. And to me, Final Fantasy is this this diamond in the rough with this big MMO culture currently going on when you have 10 to 15 MMOs coming out almost every other month. And Final Fantasy hits this sweet spot with just a very intricate class system and a very intricate story behind everything, and just this great, it feels like a single player RPG in a multiplayer world, and it's exactly what you want.
And it's got the foundation of the Final Fantasy name behind it too.
Exactly.
So it's got all of those trademarks. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
A game like this deserves the content creators like Limit Break Radio and like all the other all the other great the YouTubers and everything to constantly keep creating new and innovative content and move forward as a whole. And that's my little compliment.
Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. It was it was really nice talking to you, and I look forward to talking with you in the future about content creation.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
One more thing, not
I think
really
you have a mini
Canada.
fan club in our chat.
Not really Canada
I'm
says.
seeing that.
Best quote yet. Not really Canada says, "I just heard you, and this is crazy, but here's my username, so have my baby."
Wow.
Please come on again and
can we take 5? I'm at half mast and I need a moment right now.
Put the pole arm away.
I feel like our follows have increased since having you on. So you should definitely call in again. Come back.
I will. The next time I have something to contribute, I definitely will. I'll be hanging out in the chat, lurking around.
Excellent.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. Take it easy. All right, let's get to a couple of these emails, and we'll take one more caller.
Oh, one more caller?
Yeah,
okay,
we're gonna cut the longest email from here. The second, let's cut the second and the third one, because those we can kind of talk about at any time.
All right.
All right. Who wants to start? Who wants to take the first one?
I'll take the first one.
All right.
So it's from a regular of ours. Hey, it's Taser Smurf.
What's up, Taser Smurf?
So some people miss the point when you guys tell others to get good. The point is, if they want all the best in slot gear, that means they need to get to doing coil. If they're that guy in your raid that isn't pulling their weight, then they need to get good or find a different group. I know it's hard at times to find a static, but if people in my social LS are serious about getting past T9 and make a coil group, then I feel anyone can well get good. If you don't want to raid, that's fine, don't. But please don't whine about not having the best stuff or not finding out what the fuck happened after Derplander got teleported into the future. That CS after T12 win is worth it. I haven't gotten there myself, but I hope to someday. I also don't think you are elitist. You have never told anyone or someone to unsub because they sucked at something, or said they're casual because they want to work on a Zodiac instead of trying for a T13 weapon, or that a person is a casual because they don't have millions of gil coming out of their ass.
True story. Yeah, and I think this originates from a bit of confusion about what get good really is about on Twitter. Which really just I don't know. I wonder what the source of that confusion is. All right, we're going to cut the next two emails. Right. So our next email comes to us from Shady Grove of the Mateus server. Hey, gang, I listen to your episodes and even download them into MP3s and listen to them while at work. Love the show. I noticed whenever a topic is brought up on your show, we get to enjoy your team as they pick it apart and give it all kinds of different views and arguments on the subject. Here's one that always worried me about A Realm Reborn. I guess they've got a lot. Wow, I can't make words, guys.
Good.
I guess they've gotten a lot of flack when they bring it up. But is SE putting out too much content too fast? It just seems to me that in order to maintain a player base for as long as possible, an MMO developer would want to stretch out content for as long as possible while still keeping the content fresh and interesting. That's a tightrope walk. I realize you need new content to keep the interest high. On the other hand, with today's gamers slamming down new content in a matter of days and then crying for more, making game developers scramble for faster release dates on expansions and patches, could the quality of games eventually suffer? Will A Realm Reborn have a 5-hour energy crash? People cringe at the thought of grind parties for level content, and that's just too hard and it requires too much time to complete. Take FF11, for example. Everyone remembers the grind parties in Velcrum Dunes and the first and second jungles, but I believe this gave the game 5 years of 5 years of constant leveling while still giving the feeling of accomplishment. 5 years of its most remembered and epic content. Just an example. I love FF14, but it seems like the last 19 months whisked by like 19 minutes. Other than Demno's videos, too little to remember. Thank you very much for the email. Wow, Shady Grove of the Mateus server.
He has some interesting points.
He does
Yeah,
bring
we
up
need
some
more
interesting
JP
points.
Midnight waits.
I was talking to Beneficiary the other day, and she pointed out all the memories she has from Final Fantasy XI and WoW. All the epic things that are done and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But then when it comes to FF14, she's like, what do I really have?
I mean, I feel like that's why I like the static and endgame aspect.
That's why I work on
I
Coil.
really have every time when we first completed T5, we were, I think it was like 5-6 hour raid night that night, and we're like, we're not going to bed until we get it down. And we did, and that will always be a memory. That kind of stuff. I do think you're right. Like an XP party is not going to mean much of anything.
Getting down T9, like Nika took me through T5 like she did for Kahlo and Juxta. But T9, Kyle and I, like our static really like face smashed that. And so when we got that win, I will always remember that. I mean, that's one of those epic moments. But I think you're right. I think it happens less in 14 than it does in other games.
I can't tell you how many memories I have from just XP parties, though.
Yeah, totally.
Like when things just go horribly wrong. But at the same time, I also think that I don't think there's going to be an energy crash.
When dungeons go horribly wrong, I remember those for a long time.
Well, see, me not so much, because if a dungeon goes horribly wrong, unless, it's us doing it, but if you're just in a group and a dungeon starts to go horribly wrong, what do? You leave.
On to the next
one. And then in 30
Yeah.
minutes, you're in another one again.
Right. Right.
But I think the difference is, yeah, sure, FF11 had 5 years worth of constant content because of the leveling, but that was all exactly the same. So the question is, if FF14 can keep it up, then why not have that 5 years of content that's just not exactly the same?
They pretty much say every 3 months we're giving you something new. And because of that, and I think their response to that is the tome lockout and the requirements and stuff like that. Like you get a weekly lockout on World of Darkness and Crystal Tower stuff. You get a tome lockout every week, so you have to wait till the next week to get more. And that keeps you going almost the entire 3 months. And by the time that 3 months is up, you're just now getting all the stuff you want, and then bam, something new to do.
I will give him one thing, though, is when he says, is there too much content? I know it can seem that way if you get behind on something, such as a Zodiac item. But then there's also times to get caught up. Like right now, you're not going to see another big upgrade to it or another big step until Heaven's Ward comes out. I mean, how many months is that now?
After the next patch drops, it'll be like 3.
Yeah, so you're looking at like...
I think the content has been really well paced. I mean, I'm absolutely not a poop soccer. I don't push content quite as fast. I sit back on my heels a little bit and wait to clear things. I'm okay with clearing things with Echo. I'm definitely not a world's first player.
I think 3 months is perfect.
Yeah, totally. I do.
Did like 5-6, and that was a little bit too long, and especially with their expansions. Way too long. You go like an entire year from when content has dried out.
And that's here on the same raid tier.
Yeah, and here we are getting our new expansion, and we're still finishing stuff up, you know? And it's 3 months away.
Absolutely. No, I think that their content schedule is really good. So, yeah.
I mean, inevitably you see a little bit of a lull, like the 2-3 weeks before the next patch drops, but that's going to happen with the really hardcore players. Everyone else is still playing. So.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little worried about the upcoming expansion though, because I'm not sure if I'm going to have stuff to do for the month between the patch on Tuesday and Heaven's Ward.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that's going to be a big dry spell. I don't think we're going to get much. We've got the one big dragon fight that we know of, and then I don't know what else, man. I mean,
this is pretty much major catch-up time to make sure you're ready for Heaven's Ward.
I mean, it's story content. Like, the majority of what we're getting is story content. At least that's what we know.
And the lockout lift, which is pretty much saying, hey, we're done with all this crap. Get all your gear now because you're going to need it come June.
Well, catch-up stuff is fine, but I'm just saying I prefer mustard, so...
especially on your mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes on mustard is...
Oh, God. Nika, why don't you take this next email?
Okie dokie. From Beldandy,
Yes.
Kodiak
Yep.
on Primal database server Lamia. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying the new content as I am. I was just wondering how many of you are happy and disappointed that there is no official betting for Chocobo racing. I, for one, would be forever broke if there was one. Let's not forget Triple Triad and grinding old content trying to get more cards. Also, I've noticed something when doing World of Darkness. Usually people would just leave if their drop does not pop. Now people are asking to be vote kicked to avoid the penalty. I was wondering about your thoughts on this. Thank you for taking my email. Oh, and she says, P.S. Nika, Lady Hulk is the most beautiful Hulk.
But is still a Hulk.
Yeah, good to know that you're the most beautiful of all the Hulks.
No Chocobo betting. I mean,
That's cool. I mean, it's interesting. Maybe not with Gil, but why not let us bet MGP?
MGP.
I like that they
I
added
could
it.
see that.
Yeah,
I could
and
see
I
it.
also think there's not really an option to just like watch somebody else's race.
That's
instead of doing
true.
it yourself.
There isn't.
That's true.
And I think like it's like one of those things where, like, if they added it, you'd be like, sweet. But if they didn't add it, you wouldn't be like, ah.
Yeah. I've never done Chocobo racing at all,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't really even know. And as far as your second question goes about people asking to be vote kicked from World of Darkness, yeah, if they know that's
That's really shitty. And the thing is,
no, it's not. No,
asking to be vote
When
kicked.
people ask, I
No.
don't do it.
Why?
We don't do it. We make them stay and take the penalty.
why?
Because if they're going to leave and make us find a replacement who's probably going to get locked out of the next fight, and then we have to be a DPS.
Well, they're not
going
gonna do anything else.
It's stupid.
Find
Then they
a
get-
replacement. Hang
know
on,
what?
you mean
Okay.
you mean letting the system auto sort somebody into your fucking party? Like, what's
But
the
then
big
for
deal?
like a whole fight where if a person down and then like I don't know. I
Oh,
think
for
it's stupid.
trash.
A
And
person
no.
down.
Oh, God.
For
Ooh.
World of Darkness.
Oh God, no! I mean, honestly,
if
if
you're
somebody
gonna be that asshole that's gonna come in and then get their shit and leave or get their whatever, then you have to take the fucking penalty. We're here as a team to get to the end.
get your
You
shit
have to
and
stay
go.
with
If
us
that's
till the
if
fucking
you're
end.
coming in for one specific piece, if you're just coming in for like if you've already if you've got the Unite card, you've got your weekly lockout item, and you're coming in for one specific piece, and it's like the 7th or 8th time that you've been
then
grinding it.
leave and take the penalty.
Why? No, it's not. It's not. Why is it offensive to go? Hey guys, I'm trying to get one piece of gear. Can you please vote kick me so I don't?
And you know what? Think about it this way, Nika, because at first I was on your side, but how many people out there need a drop from just like the last 2 bosses and don't want to suffer through the first 2, and now they're waiting for an in progress?
Yeah.
At
No,
this,
that's
at-
me. I do that. I'm waiting for the in progress.
Okay,
but I
so
just,
so
then
let
what's the
people
fucking
duck.
problem?
So we're
let
trying to
people
help
duck
you.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't take long to get a replacement in, especially if it's a DPS. So
And it's
you know
not.
what? Yeah,
it's
let
not a
them do
get
it.
good situation. You're not replacing static members, Nika. You're not going to have to exit World of Darkness, put your party finder back up, and say, "Hey, we're looking for a white mage."
Must
No.
have clear. Please know how. Not learning party.
Come on.
I just think if you're gonna come into a group with 8 people and not want to stay, then just take the penalty. 30 minutes you can try again.
Why are you being so mean to this person?
My God.
Because they're being mean by leaving our group. And then we have to like type into Alliance and
'Cause
say,
it's
oh,
so
somebody
important.
Left. Please wait while we wait for someone to show up. Or then if they don't wait, it's
Oh
just,
no!
it's
And they get locked out. Oh,
Oh,
God.
no,
Oh,
you
no.
need that one person.
So don't be so darn
And people are agreeing with me in the chat, by the way.
You know what the difference is though? If someone asks to be vote kicked and you decide not to, guess what?
You're still down a person. They're not going to help.
Because they're not going to help. If I
Yeah.
wanted to be vote kicked and you're like, no, you have to suffer through it. What if we have to wait for somebody? I'll be like, all right, well,
Then
guess what?
leave.
Now they're not coming. I'm going to stand here.
And now you
But then
won't
you can
ever
be
get a person.
reported to a GM for harassing or not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Then
They're going to say, vote kick the person.
Yeah.
You have a tool there to get rid of them. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Nika, come on.
Actually, we did that in a party once.
You
there
are-
was a guy who wanted to be vote kicked, and when we wouldn't do it, he went and took a shower.
There you go.
Okay,
Smart guy.
so-
That guy makes sense.
So he's
And no,
not
I
losing
think we
anything, and
GM,
you're
I
losing a
think we
DPS.
GM reported him for not doing his job.
Oh, so you might have got that guy banned
Oh my
because he just
God.
wanted a piece of gear and you
Because-
wouldn't vote.
Guys,
Because you are
for
spiteful.
leeching
Wow.
The butt hurt is strong with this one.
God Almighty. Oh man. All
Skylar,
right.
where do you stand on this? Exactly. Thank you very much, number 6.
Yeah. Good job.
I'm going to take the next one.
Take the final email.
Because it says at the bottom, P.S., and you should have put this at the top. P.S. Whatever you do not let intern position read this email.
Hi, LBR. This
No!
is
Stop
Yujiro
it.
Omega, Elf
Mute
Dude
him.
of Diablo.
Mute him.
I'm butthurt, man.
Oh, God. Oh. Hi, LBR. This is Yujiro Omega, elf dude of Diablos. But I'm a cat because plastic surgery was a thing in my FC. But soon I'll be able to release my inner dragon. I'm going to assume he means the aura.
Yeah.
I'm writing this email to you all to comment on some things that I've been waiting to but have not had the time to. So number 1, fuck story mode.
Hell yeah.
I'm on the wall that is T9, and it's better to try and fail over and over again than it is to have it served up to you on a silver platter. The only way to get your story mode is to pay for one of those asshat FCs to carry you. And on that note, fuck those FCs that do that shit. There's a reason that I have to deal with those dumbasses, and there's all kinds of that stuff in sort. Number 2, Guildworks or not, people will be assholes. I have it, and hunts are still pointless to do. No one calls out anything. Guildwork gives no one an advantage over anyone else because if you're in a hunt party, there's a 90% chance that someone else in there has it too. And number 3, and most important one of all, why don't you have a soundboard but no fucking sound clips from classic LBR FF11 days? Thank you for letting me babble on. Love the show. Keep up the good work.
It would be really awkward to use drops of our own voices.
That is audio masturbation.
That would be a kind of weird.
It would be a little weird.
Maybe,
I think it would be.
Guys, I have a really good
talking about
idea.
making a sound real sound.
You know, I think it would be okay to use sound drops of people that are no longer here.
Yeah.
Like have some Argent sound drops.
You know, that was an idea after you had left the show. We were gonna do Robo Calo and then just have like, you know,
Thief 75, please check it.
Exactly.
That's
or
awesome.
kicking it from the back.
Kicking it from the back.
Yeah, and we would have used it as a soundboard. And you would have been back on the intro as Robo Calo. That's our final email.
All right, good. I need to go, guys. It's not a hangover. I think that I'm having withdrawals. Like I'm sweating over here. I have a massive headache. Like my vision's getting blurry. It's been too long since my last drink.
I think we have one more.
Yes, we got one more person.
One more caller here.
Skype messed up though. Hold on one second.
Skype.
I had it all prepped up and then
you fail.
And then it disappeared.
You're terrible.
No, we got it. We're just holding.
What?
I need drugs.
You need drugs?
Shut up, Kyle. Quit being a little bitch.
God.
You know what? Next time you have a toothache, you ain't getting any of my codeine, you fucker.
These two have been arguing a lot today. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? He deserves. Hey.
Hi.
Hey, how's
what's up?
All right. Let's see. We got. Where'd it go? Okay, we got Aldrich from Goblin.
Hey, what's up, Aldrich?
Also known as
going on, guys?
Breaker 909 in the chat room.
Recent sub.
Yes, $5 well spent.
Yes, thank you very much for the sub.
For your donation.
So what do you think about all of this shit that we've been talking about today?
Oh my God, there's so much of it.
Well, you can't talk about all of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to, certainly.
Most important stuff first.
The whole easy mode, story mode is just ridiculous. I mean, you guys get such a bad rap over that shit.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
Being labeled elitist. I was watching Twitter yesterday. It was just all over the map, and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys provide a forum for even casual players, which was what I would consider myself, to get better, to get to the point where they get good.
Yeah.
And I think the people who are hating on you guys for that are just don't realize that or don't recognize what you're really about.
Some people may have taken what we said a little out of context.
You know,
out of context.
Here's my if you honestly you want to know my prediction. I think that entire Twitter blow up yesterday stems from the person, the origin of the misunderstanding. The person doesn't listen to the show. I think that's what it is. They don't, when we
get good LBR.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
And it's just a base reaction on their part. So, I don't know whether to blame him or not for that.
It's funny because he calls us elitists, but then calls us out saying that we can't act like that because we don't beat T13.
Or
you guys aren't elitists, but you're elitists.
I think it's that whole expectation of behavior thing too. Is another one of his points is like, oh, you guys are a big community source, and like, we are a popular show. I'm not going to deny that at all. But the thing is that we have never sold ourselves as a informational source. What we do is entertainment. Okay, here's the thing. All right, a lot of people have been saying a lot of really mean and disparaging things about the way that I play, picking apart our old YouTube videos or our stream when I play. And here's the thing. I've never claimed to be a great player. I'm not probably even a very good player at all. Never claimed to be. I'm not one of those people who's pushing endgame content, and I don't want to be. But you know what I am? I am a member of this community. I do play this game, and I've got a microphone, and I've got opinions. So you know what? If you don't like it, don't listen to my fucking opinions.
He doesn't.
Listen to someone else's opinions. I mean, you have a choice in this as well. So, it's hard for me to sit around and feel bad when someone wants to hate on us when they don't listen to the show, or if they do, they don't really understand what we're doing. So, the whole
chat wanted us to address the drama. I'd say we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
You guys have even talked about it. Like, I've even heard you guys say a couple of shows back, you said you got into a duty finder with somebody, and they said, "Wow, I thought you'd be better."
That was me. That was me.
At the Scalia.
Yeah, that was me right here.
You guys do nothing but help the community as a whole, and you guys have even said there's a ton of shows out there where people just sit around and agree with each other, and you guys are not that show.
Yeah.
And that's why I listen to you.
Fuck these assholes.
There are a lot of other choices for listening to a Final Fantasy XIV talk show,
and a lot of good ones too.
Yeah, there are a ton of good ones, and a lot of live streaming shows that have been popping up on Twitch, and there's a lot of options out there, and we know what exists out there. So if you don't like our content, it's probably because we're not making content for you. So
like when we sat down,
and that's okay. That's okay. Like, it's not, if you don't like what we're doing, that's fine.
Yeah, well, when we sat down to plan the show, we sat down and said, hey, we're going to do something that is not like anything else out there.
Because at the time, what LBR used to be in FF11, we already had that.
Yeah.
So we actually said, not this time.
Yeah.
What else can we do? What isn't out there?
Yep. Totally.
Bunch of dudes telling dick jokes.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
Which is weird. You think that quota would have been felt.
And Nika. Don't forget Nika.
Well, look at that Hulk.
Team Nika.
Yay!
All right. Well, thank you so much for the call, Breaker909. Did you have any final words? Because we got to wrap it up here.
No, just a shout out to the Dark Lords of Goblin. You guys are great. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much for the call. Thank you. All right. So we talked about it a little bit, but there've been that Guildwork episode that we put out. Man, did that rustle some jimmies.
It did, yeah.
Russellmania.
I still don't get why.
I don't get why
either. I have to say,
because they don't listen.
If the people who are in the Guildwork community don't know that Guildwork is a question of morality between the player base, then they're stupid. They know that.
Nika,
they know it causes discussion.
Is why.
For us to not fairly discuss it, they're stupid, and I can
explain it to you really easily, okay? Because right now you're looking at it as a community perspective, like it's all of Guildwork that's coming after us, okay? And all of your time cosplaying and going to anime conventions, have you never met that person that if for some reason, if you don't like the one anime they do, like their mind is just blown and they've made it like their personal mission to convince you? One or two people heard our Guildwork episode, or didn't even listen to the episode, heard somebody else say Limit Break Radio doesn't like Guildwork, and they fucking flipped their shit.
Yeah.
And have now turned it into their own personal crusade to teach us a fucking lesson.
Which, by the way,
that's all it is.
I don't even think we really hated on Guildwork that much.
No, we didn't.
We
That's
totally
the
didn't.
point. We pretty much said, here's our opinion. What do we think? Should people use it? Not why do you think that people call in? Let us know what you think. The end. Like, there was no one saying Guildwork is cheating. Don't use it. It's a terrible program. Why would you do it? You're idiots if you use it.
It was all personal.
Zero.
All
It was
personal
completely
opinion.
objective.
Yeah.
I like what Wilson says
I don't
here.
know if it wasn't objective.
No.
It was very subjective. That's our point.
So this guy, Cheddar says, LBR, who cares about your haters? You're creating content. There are people that just live to crap on content because they will never create anything worthwhile, just angry because they don't do anything, and you are.
They are the golems of the internet.
Right. Well, there's one thing to be said. It's like, it is cool to hate on stuff now on the internet. It's not cool to like things anymore.
That's true.
It's cool
So
to hate
And
things.
the thing is, you say, we don't really care. That's the thing. That's why we will never sit here and apologize.
Yeah,
we didn't do a thing.
Okay, so here's the thing. I've got something here.
It's water.
No, it's clear.
Oh, it's clear.
It's vodka, sorry.
It smells a little salty.
Oh,
I think
it's in a mug.
Why did
guys,
you
come in a mug?
This is the Tears of Guildwork.
Oh.
I have here the Tears of Guildwork. And I want to.
I don't want to know how he got there.
I want to officially give my response to Guildwork using their very own tiers. Okay, guys. So here we go.
Oh,
He's drinking the tears of Guildwork.
He is chugging those things.
That's so metal.
That is going down quickly.
Oh my god!
It's gone.
Why
it's
doesn't
gone.
Nero know
He
how
did
to
it.
open his
He
throat
did
so
it.
well?
Wow.
Oh, that's salty.
Ugh.
How'd you learn to open your throat so well?
That is salty. That is so salty, guys.
That big black mic in front of him.
Oh, it's salty, but damn satisfying.
Would you like some down Vodios to go with that?
Yeah, I may eat those for dinner. All right, that's going to do it for Limit Break Radio. By the way, I did sort of steal that joke from a great YouTube channel that you should check out called This Exists. And yeah, just go to youtube.com, search This Exists. So, but all right, that's going to do it for. Oh man, wow, it's getting some.
Wow,
those tears,
really?
Man. Those tears.
Oh God!
God,
You're so charming.
All right, so that's going to do it for today here on Limit Break Radio. I want to thank all of you for hanging out, all 216 of you.
Wow, we are awesome
for hanging out here with us on Limit Break Radio. If this is your first time hanging out with us for Limit Break Radio and you like the show, head on over to limitbreakradio.com and you know, check out all of our episodes. We've got a big backlog of podcast episodes that you can check out going back all the way to the beginning of 2.0. Just when 2.0 launched was when we had relaunched the show for FF14. And if you're super brave, you can check out all of our shows going back to Final Fantasy 11. So also check us out on the social medias spaces, twitter.com/limitbreakradio, facebook.com/limitbreakradio. And if you're looking to support Limit Break Radio, there's a couple of ways that you can do that. You can either subscribe to this very Twitch channel, and you know, we stream Final Fantasy 14 content all the time. Sunday nights, usually you guys do D&D, but not doing D&D tonight, right?
Nope, not tonight.
Not tonight. Are you guys you're gonna stream some 14 tonight, right?
Yeah, I probably will.
I'll probably get to streaming right after this. I'll probably throw up the title card and then come back in, I don't know, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and do some streaming today. So if you're on the stream, hang out. I'm gonna come back and after we record this video for our patrons, I will come back and hang out with you on the stream. So yeah, and then. Friday is Escalia. You're doing something new. You're doing League of Legends on the stream, right? Friday nights?
League of Legends.
Starting at?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. So make sure that you join Escalia for that. We've got a lot of cool, fun things happening here on the Twitch stream. So your $4.99 a month is going to be well spent. You can also head over to patreon.com/limitbreakradio if you want to help us out with monthly support. I want to thank the couple of people that have given during the show. We are up to $1,551 total. A month per raised on Patreon. So thank you.
We had a lot of new subs too.
Yeah, we had a lot of new subs, a lot of new follows. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you checking out the show, and we're glad that you like what we do. So again, check us out on the web, www.limitbreakradio.com. Thank you to all of our live listeners hanging out with us in the studio. Pretty small crew today, but we do thank you for hanging out. It's always so much fun when you do. Yeah, limitbreakradio.com. Facebook.com/limitbreakradio, Twitter.com/limitbreakradio, Patreon.com/limitbreakradio, and those are all the ways that you can get involved with us here at Limit Break Radio. So for Nika Kayani and Juxtaposition, Kalo Landis, and Escalia Ryumasa, I'm Aniro. Keep listening.